This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray. We're at Carl Albert High School for the final home game, or the final game of the regular season for the Carl Albert Titans. They are hosting the El Reno Indians in what is a very meaningful district matchup here in Class 5A as we are approaching very quickly the state playoffs for Class 5A. The Carl Albert Lady Titans in the driver's seat right now for the district championship. They are undefeated in district play, but the El Reno Lady Indians have one district loss. That loss was to Carl Albert by only 4 points. So all the El Reno Indians have to do is beat Carl Albert by 4 points or more, and they will be district champions. Carl Albert will fall to the district runner-up. So big, eventful game for the girls. In the boys' game, it is the El Reno Indians have already locked up the district championship for the boys. And Carl Albert is still in. They're probably locked up the second.
They're locked in the second place, yeah.
Right.
So this game the girls' game is extremely interesting, especially if we have this scenario where it's late in the game and Carl Albert's down 2 points. Do they try to tie, win the game, or do they sit on the ball? That's something I would be very interested in if it happens, and it could happen because these two teams are very closely matched. They haven't lost to anyone else in district play. They've only lost to a 6A team outside of district play. At both Carl Albert, they lost to Bartlesville. El Reno lost to UConn, both in the tournament. So you're talking about the two of the elite teams in this district and two teams that I'd be shocked if neither go to state. That's how good this is. The girls' game tonight is the interesting one here. Not that the boys' game won't be. We'll talk more about that. But so much on the line in the girls' game. Seeding, and it matters in the atmosphere we're in with girls' basketball. You want to get that one seed.
You know, interesting, you said at the end of the game would they want to sit on the ball. I talked to a official today who just received their questionnaire from the National Federation of High Schools on rule changes that are probably going to be presented for a vote. Yeah. And among those this year is forcing all state associations to add a shot clock next year. And it's highly anticipated that it will pass, and Oklahoma will have to implement shot clocks next year. Now, smaller schools may give it a year of buffer time for that or something, but it's been a long time coming.
I want to be clear when I say sitting on the ball, I mean like with 10 seconds to go in the game. Instead of fouling or with trying to score and giving the ball back to El Reno, you have the ball in that situation. So, but yeah, I hope the shot clock can happen for different reasons. But that's what I meant by setting the ball. With Carl Albert, if they're down 3, do you even try to shoot a 3 to tie with 10 seconds to go, or do you just hold it? I would hold it, but we'll see if that situation even presents itself. Coach Ritchie doesn't want to see it. Coach Douglas for El Reno doesn't want to see it. They want to win the game solidly, so they don't have to even worry about it. And it'll be an interesting battle to see who can, because these teams are very different, but they're also very evenly matched.
There should be some exciting basketball in both games tonight.
Yeah.
We should expect some very competitive, down-to-the-wire ball games tonight.
That's right, and just want to let people know, coming up next, we'll have an interview with girls coach for Carl Albert, Kyle Ritchie, so we'll have that on right in a moment. You're watching Middale Basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
right, happy to be joined by Carlbert girls coach Kyle Ritchie. All right, Coach, for those that didn't see, you had a nice victory against Elgin, so you're guaranteed. You already were guaranteed a home district, but now you're in the driver's seat again for winning a district title here. You remain undefeated, I should say. What were you most pleased with again as far as that victory goes?
Oh, I mean, I told them don't peek ahead. I mean, everybody knows what's coming up tomorrow. I said, don't peek ahead. Do your job tonight, and then we'll worry about El Reno on Monday. And they came out, handled business. You know, what I was most proud of, and I want to tell you a quick story. I was able to start Jakari and Jack, and I was able to start Evie and Piper, and then obviously Audrey was my fifth starter. What I loved is this team, Malia Hatchett and Hayden Harrell. I brought them in and said, hey, I'm going to make an adjustment tonight, senior night, going to start the sisters. And they were so excited for me to do that. And there could be a lot of players that wouldn't be happy of not starting that game. And they were like, Coach, this is so awesome. I'm so happy. You know, let that memory be made, and we're going to win the basketball game. And when I announced the starters, our locker room just went crazy. And right there, it's a little thing, but to me, it's a big thing that we bought into the we over me. Like, yeah, Coach, that memories are going to be made tonight that would never be able to happen again, because obviously Jack and E are graduating. So that's a little story that I just kind of wanted to put out there, that those two girls were so unselfish that were, you know, hey, yeah, Coach, that's awesome that we're going to do this tonight.
Well, since you mentioned those names, let's go ahead and talk about them for a minute here. Because you do plan to put them back in the starting lineup. So Hayden Harrell,
Yes.
she has quite the legacy. Her two older brothers played. And every time I watch her play, she seems so comfortable with the ball in her hands. And she's definitely a true point guard. Not that you don't have other point guards, but what is it about her and her poise? I mean, what talk about the confidence you have with her with the ball, especially because she does give up some size.
She does. You know, I mean, she'll run the point if we need to, and then, you know, sometimes we might move her off the ball. I'm actually going to flip the script on you for a second and say her on the ball defense. You know, we usually put her on the best ball handler, and we try to wear whoever we think that is out and make them go to their second or third option. And so what doesn't show up in the stat lines all the time is really big for our basketball team.
And then Malia Hatchett's interesting because, well, you've known her since she was a baby, but the type of player she's developed into where you have the confidence to start her and play her in major minutes. And I think part of that is, and I don't know if this will be a factor against El Reno, but you'll use her to guard the team's biggest player a lot of times to free up Audrey.
That's absolutely right.
What's about Malia that gives you that confidence, and how have you seen her develop as a player?
Well, you know as well as I do, coach's kid. You know,
Right.
Whatever the staff asks her to do, she's going to do. She's going to give it everything she has. And, you pretty much summed it up. She's going to start off on Lily tomorrow. And then, like I said, she can't do it by herself. We're going to have to be in great shell defense. We obviously have a couple schemes that, you know, we're going to try to mix up, hopefully to try to keep them off guard a little bit. But she's going to do the dirty work that, once again, I go back to Hayden. Sometimes it doesn't always show up in the stat line, the importance of her.
You mentioned Lily. That's the El Reno post player, I assume. That was obviously the team that, you knew would be really good. And I think they're the only team besides your road game at Guyman that was even close. And so that was at their place. It's a huge win, but you know that they could definitely return the favor. So what is it about this El Reno team? They're obviously not the same as last year where they went undefeated, but they're still obviously really good. What is it about this El Reno team that, is formidable?
Oh, well, I'm going to start with the head coach. Jen does a great job. We actually had practice today, and what our staff tries to do is, what would we do against us? We self-scout a lot. And, what adjustments is she going to make, if any? Because, that game was so close. It might be just, hey, make a shot here, make a stop there, and, the game could be different. So, honestly, it's a really stinking good basketball team. They're sitting at, 20-2 or something like that. Yeah, they went undefeated last year. They've lost a couple games, but that is still a very, very formidable team. There's really no weaknesses. It's just going to be a 32-minute game, and we know that. And that's where, after we won that game there, what I liked is in the locker room, yeah, they were happy. We all know that was a very big game to play, but they kind of grew up right there in that game where there wasn't just water being spewed everywhere. It was a great, they kind of grew up before our eyes, like, hey, coach, we know they're going to come to our place in 3 weeks, and it's probably going to be for the title. And we know it, and you know what? They were absolutely right. And 3 weeks later, we're here for a title shot tomorrow.
So let's talk about the title aspect of it, which really is the 1 seed. How important is the 1 seed? A couple things I would mention on the air is you get that, you avoid Del City and area, they're really good, or hosting Duncan, because Duncan might be the hottest girls team. They won at Del City after all Friday. So there's that aspect of it. That's part one to my question. The other thing is, we believe that if you lose to El Reno by 3 points or less, you still retain the 1 seed. But so if there's a situation where you miss a shot down 2 late, would you play that aspect of it and say don't foul? Have you thought about that type of scenario yet?
We've thought about it. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we're not in that spot.
Okay, but what are your feelings about getting the 1 seed? Is that how important that is?
It's big, but let's be honest, and I know we talked about Del City, we talked about Duncan. Let's not forget those other 2 juggernauts in that district. Midwest City is really good, and Class and SAS is really good. So wherever we are, those are 4 really good basketball teams. The regional final is going to be tough. I'm never overlooked the first one. Regional final will be tough. Whoever we get in area, we've got to win 3 basketball games somehow, some way. 2 in regional, 1, 2 in regional 1 area, 1 in regional, 2 in area. We got to win 3 to get to the big dance. And so that's the way we're going to look at it. Because obviously I know our record is 23-1 right now. After tomorrow, everybody's 0-0. And that's the aspect that we have to take. There's going to be somebody really, really good sitting at home come March.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 2 or 3 good teams. All right. Well, Coach, thank you very much. We look forward to talking to you after the game, hopefully.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
All right, welcome back to Middale Basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're going to present to you the starting lineup. Starting lineup is brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic, and the PA announcer, Josh Maddox, will be announced the starters.
A 5'4" senior, number 3, Fallon McHenry Guzman. A 6' junior, number 4, Aaron Romanos. And a 5'2" senior, number 5, Reagan Bugай. Mitchell.
All right, let's take one more look at the starting lineups here. And one of the things you'll see is El Reno's got a post player, Lily Thomas, who's pretty good, 6'1", and will not be Audrey Plunkett guarding her. It'll be Malia Hatchett. That'll be an interesting matchup to watch inside. Malia Hatchett and Hayden Harrell back in the starting lineups. I saw their dads out in the foyer area right before I got back in here. All right, who's the starting lineup sponsor, Tracy?
So our starting lineup brought to you by Dynamic Health. Dynamic Health Clinic. Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. Just to run through those starting lineups once again. I know we had some audio cutting out there. Starting lineup for El Reno is number 0, Lily Thomas. Number 1, Emery Elizondo. Number 3, Fallon McHenry Guzman. Number 4, Aaron Roman-Nose. Number 5, Reagan Bugay. And for the Carl Albert girls, number 3, Hayden Harrell. Number 11, Evie Mitchell. Number 15, Jakari Brown. Number 21, Malia Hatchett. And number 22, Audrey Plunkett. Carl Albert gets the ball to begin the game. Come down, set up their offense. Got a zone defense by El Reno.
It's like a 2-3 zone. Going to test Carl Albert's shooting.
Brown on the wing, bounces out top. Screen set by Plunkett, pass in the corner. Baseline pass, tipped, and El Reno steals the ball away. Kyle Ritchie, the head coach for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Jennifer Douglas, the head coach for the El Reno Lady Indians.
And we'll get that clock camera working here in a bit. But we're just to see how Jakari Brown moves. She did not play, as she's running point right now, on Thursday. Did play the first half, and the first half only against Elgin.
So some good pressure out top in that zone defense. Well, it is still a zone, yes. Carl Albert passing the ball across the top, taking their time.
Last turnover on Carl was Hayden Harrell was really in a spot where she doesn't need to be, which is along the baseline. There's too much size in the front line for El Reno.
Plunkett at the high post. The defense drops back and double teams her. Now Harrell at the elbow, kicks it out. Brown for 3. Front of the rim, shot no good. Rebound El Reno.
First half court possession for El Reno. Can they throw the ball inside of Thomas? You can see the size advantage she has on Hatchett. How will Carl Albert double team? They will double team some, that's for sure.
El Reno taking their time. That man defense by Carl Albert. 3 top of the key by Thomas. Shot no good. A rebound by Harrell. Both teams missing on a 3 so far. Brown in the corner. 3. Shot no good. And a rebound by El Reno. Elizondo comes up with it.
Malia Hatchett likes that corner 3. In the games we've done of Carl Albert, though, she hasn't made a high percentage of them. We'll see if that changes. But that's a shot she's not shy to shoot.
3 threes attempted in the game so far. That's the only shot attempts there have been, and all 3 have missed.
Almost a steal by Plunkett. That's what she wants, to get a steal and get in transition here.
2.5 minutes in, we've had no clock stoppages, and no score. And just as I say that, a foul's called on Carl Albert. There'll be 2 free throws coming for El Reno.
That's Bugaj. Bugaj, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Bugaj.
A foul's called on Jakari Brown, her first personal foul.
She's kind of like a Clark Kent type figure. She wears the glasses, but she is not afraid to get inside. And there she is, drawing contact, and getting to the foul line. One of the key players on the El Reno team that went undefeated last year and won the state title.
First point of the ball game comes at the free throw line from Reagan Bugay. And that is Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She hits both of them. Toonie Buys Homes in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call Toonie Buys Houses today for a cash offer. 405-931-3046. Brown out top of the ball. Mitchell for three. Boom! And Carl Albert takes the lead.
That's the big deal. Again, Carl Albert's probably going to shoot a lot of threes against a 2-3 zone, and that's what El Reno's playing. So it's going to come down to their percentage. There'll be a big story of this game. It usually is.
Thomas drives around. Hatchett goes up, misses the shot. Hatchett called for the foul. That'll be her first personal, second team foul.
Now, it may not have mattered on that play, but Thomas got a driving lane there. Plunkett and other defenders for Carl Albert need to collapse.
Thomas hits her first free throw, ties the game up at 3 apiece.
And by collapse, I mean need to collapse sooner.
The free throw is brought to you by Tooney Buys Houses. And Thomas hits both free throws. Here in the first period, we've had 2 lead changes now. The score's 4-3, El Reno over Carl Albert. Our first quarter sponsor is Scrambled. We start this game the way you should start your day. For breakfast or brunch, try their chicken and pancakes and deep-fried French toast at 1742 Northeast 23rd Street, Suite A in Oklahoma City. 405-900-5972. It's Scrambled. Carl Albert running their offense. Mitchell, little bump out on the left wing. Harrell drives in, kicks the ball back to Mitchell, but it's picked off by Bugai, and she's headed to the line and called for an offensive foul. Throwing a little arm to create space.
I don't think she had to do that. She wanted to get to shield Mitchell from being able to knock the ball away from her. It's a good stuff for Coach Ritchie. Jordan Richardson coming in. She's one of their 5 best players, even though she doesn't start. She is a freshman after all. And the offense for Carl Albert really has been shaky at the beginning. Usually it takes them a bit of time to get going. Jordan Richardson will help with that.
Shot by Plunkett, blocked. Richardson, oh my goodness.
She just has a knack. She's getting better and better, by the way. Her game against Elgin was amazing because she scored so many points in so many different ways. And you saw it there, just knowing where to be at the right time.
Now El Reno in their offense, pass out top, but another lead change, 3 lead changes here early. Bugai takes a step inside, misses the shot, and Mitchell comes up with a rebound.
Wild. That's been wild by Brown.
Brown puts up a shot from the free throw line. It's no good. Rebound by Elizondo. And a foul called on Jakari Brown, picks up her second personal foul.
Well, it started with a bad shot attempt, so Hayden Harrell will check back in. That's maybe a good sub for Carl Albert. Hayden Harrell, but the thing is she's got to be careful when she's trying to throw the ball over an El Reno player. They're seeing her as someone who they can get deflections off of. So when she comes back in, she's had the ball knocked away from her twice. She needs to avoid that.
Pass down low to Thomas is a little wide. Thomas can't get to it. It goes out of bounds.
So what Malia Hatchett was able to do successfully there is just keep Thomas from getting too close to the basket. And it's that, but I guarantee you Coach Douglas of El Reno would see that as an unforced error.
5-4 the score. 5 minutes into the game. Mitchell goes high off the glass. Shot no good. 3rd rebound of the game already for Elizondo. Elizondo goes to the hole. She's going to get an and one.
Well, we got here early, Tracy. We saw this in the girls' JV game. El Reno's just really good at pushing the ball. They get the rebound, they go right away. There's not many teams in district that do that. So Carl Albert, you know, they have to revert back to what they probably see in practice. They try to do that against themselves, is push the ball in transition. But their transition defense is going to be tested here tonight in a way that it normally is not during a game.
The scoreboard is not updated. That is clearly the 4th team foul now on Carl Albert. Only one team foul on El Reno, and the score is 7-6.
Well, there's no reason for Richardson to throw that pass. She had Plunkett right there. Just make a simple pass.
2 turnovers for Carl Albert, 1 for El Reno. 4 lead changes in the first period, and it's a 1-point game. Thomas out top. Hatchett on D. Thomas goes right at her, and Hatchett picks up her second personal foul, and that's the 5th team foul now. Scoreboard has been updated.
Well, Plunkett's got to get in there and help a little quicker. Again, Thomas is not looking to play back to the basket against Hatchett. She's looking to face the basket.
First free throw miss of the game by El Reno. Toonie buys houses free throws here. Again, Toonie buys houses in any condition. Call today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046. Thomas' second free throw is good. She has 3 points off from the line. It's a 2-point lead now for El Reno. 8-6 is the score. One thing I see by Thomas doesn't look to be really quick, but she's making that move and getting Hatchett out of position. They may just need to put somebody on her that's a little quicker that can stay in front of her. Richardson makes the pass across the court. Mitchell Plunkett for three from the corner. It's long. No good. Rebound by Bugai. Bugai right to the hole, makes the layup.
See, no one got in her way because Carl Albert, they're used to pressuring and intimidating ball handlers. So it's not going to be the same against El Reno. They know this. They played already, but their transition defense right now is not very good because they're not getting El Reno to be under pressure much. They have to have better offensive possessions.
Richardson for three, in and out. Rebound Thomas. Bugai pushes the ball up the court. Mitchell on D. Mitchell staying with her. Bugai goes around her. Ball tipped up. Richardson comes up with the rebound. And a foul call on El Reno. Only the second foul on them. That one on Juliana Thomas, who is now in the ball game. Her first personal foul. A minute left to play in this first period, brought to you by Scrambled. It's a score's been adjusted accurately. 5 points on the board for Carl Albert. 10-5 is the score. Plunkett left wing, drives in, goes around Thomas, off the glass and one.
See that again on our super subs. This is a replay. You know, I did super subs earlier today, and I'm still full. But what a play by Audrey Plunkett there, and she's got to find that driving lane. Hasn't found it yet this game until that possession. Keep in mind, Carl Albert needs to be within three the whole game or better, so they got within three here. It's a little early to talk about that, but it's worth mentioning that basically when it comes to the stakes of this game, Carl Albert has a 3-point cushion.
So Audrey Plunkett hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw, gets the 3-point play. The score is now 10-8. That instant replay was brought to you, as Jordan said, by Super Subs, where they have the Chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken. Bugai has the ball on the right wing, passes down in the corner to Maddie Moss. Moss picks up her dribble and passes back out. 20 seconds left to play here in the scrambled first period. That was Elizondo driving, passes the ball off the glass. And Hatchett just picked up her. No, that's not Hatchett. Excuse me.
That's Kinley Sutton.
Kinley Sutton picks up her first personal.
So that was a breakdown there of what do you do on the screen when Plunkett, the player she's guarding, she stayed with her. So Thomas had an easy driving lane there. Carl Albert needs to either switch or they need to do a better job of getting around that screen.
Toonie Buys Houses free throw is no good. Rebound by Richardson. Richardson has 3 boards here in the first period. And Sutton has the ball tipped away from behind. 4.5 seconds left to play in the first. Sutton will inbound on the baseline. It's a 4-point game.
She might be the player they look at to shoot here, coming off the screen. 4 seconds is enough time to do that.
Out top, Plunkett. 2 seconds. Plunkett's got to do something. Time runs out. She heaves it, and it's going over the backboard. It's a 4-point game after 1 period of play. 12-8, El Reno over Carl Albert here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the El Reno Lady Indians lead the Carl Albert Lady Titans 12-8 after 1 period of play. As we begin the second period, it's brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings offers buy one, get one wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. El Reno with the ball begin the second period. Bugai has 4 points in the ball game. She passes down low. Shot no good by Thomas. Rebound by Plunkett.
Nice pass.
All the way down the end of the court, Jordan Richardson gets her second bucket. It's a 2-point game, 12-10.
Tell you, 2 players, Carl's going to have a hard time taking on the game right now, especially with Brown in foul trouble, are Sutton and Richardson. Richardson and Plunkett. We'll see if they do come out any.
Thomas gets the ball low. Plunkett comes over to double team with Sutton. Thomas dribbles out. Now Bugai with the ball again. Richardson gets over in front of her. Bugai gets around Richardson. Misses the layup. Sutton was there to help, and she gets the rebound. Harrell, Mitchell, Sutton in the corner. High arching three. It's short. I think might have got blocked.
She also is not shy from that corner, but she needs to make sure, she probably should be a little bit more shy. Make sure she's open.
Bugai for three. That one's off back iron. No good. Ball tipped into the hands, backwards off the backboard by Fallon McHenry Guzman.
Well, she was shot that kind of blind there and made it. It's a heck of a play.
14-10 the score. 6.5 minutes to play, and the second foul called. I believe that one's going on McHenry Guzman. It is. That's her first personal, first team foul here in the second period. Elizondo checks back into the game. Thomas will take a seat for El Reno. And Sutton takes a seat as Hatchett checks back in with 2 fouls for Carl Albert.
It look like they're about to shoot free throws, but this is a good call by the ref. I don't think Evie Mitchell was fouled in the act of shooting.
And now a foul called on Erin Roman-Nose. That'll be her first personal foul, second team foul.
Fouls were in favor of El Reno first quarter. Early favor for Carl Albert in the second quarter. Can they take advantage of that?
Harrell dribbles fast. Pass across the court. Richardson for three. Boom! It's the three for Jordan Richardson. She has 7 points.
Unbelievable. And now she commits kind of a over-aggressive foul, but it's the first team foul, but she has got to stay on the court. It's pretty clear that she has the offensive skills to score on this El Reno team. I'm not sure how many other players will have that for Carl Albert. We saw Mitchell at a three and Plunkett as well. And, of course, Brown's, again, has the foul trouble and is not 100% in this game. So we will see Richardson plays the rest of this quarter, but she needs to avoid another foul.
Roman-Nose out top. Pass down low to the guy. Double team quickly. And now Roman-Nose just inside the arc hits the long two.
It's not going to be any short players who can shoot.
A 3-point game, 16-13. Hatchett at the high post. Mitchell dribbles out. Behind her back. Now Harrell sets up the offense again. Mitchell for three, left wing. Boom! And there's tied up 16-16.
We're seeing some really good shot making here. Mitchell, Plunkett, Richardson for Carl Albert, several players for El Reno.
That's 2 threes for Mitchell. Plunkett gets a steal from Roman-Nose. Headed to the basket, pulls up, shoots the short jumper. Shot no good. And rebound by Hatchett. She's fouled, they say, on the floor, though it sure looked like to me she was trying to go up for the shot. Thomas picks up her second personal foul.
I agree it's on the floor, I think. But Plunkett, if she's going to shoot that type of shot, she needs the backboard. She needs to use the backboard or try to get close to the basket. So she's fortunate Hatchett got the rebound, so Carl still has a possession here.
Richardson inbounds the ball out top to Harrell. Harrell splits defenders in the paint, goes up, shot block, rebound Thomas.
Boy, Harrell usually has better vision than that. She had Jordan Richardson wide open. She's got to see that.
Roman knows across the top. Thomas at the top of the key. Thinks about the three. Hatchett defending. Plunkett tips the ball away, and 3 seconds in the lane called on Elizondo. That is a turnover.
It's a very uncharacteristic mistake for El Reno. Elizondo really doesn't post up a whole lot, so there's really no need for her to be in the paint that long.
She may have got caught up watching her teammates over there on the trap. And Richardson forcing a little contact. The foul's called on Juliana Thomas, her second personal foul, 4th team foul. So no more fouls to give for El Reno.
If you're going to commit 4 fouls, you want them to be on the floor, and they all have been. So no free throws yet for Carl Albert, but that will change next defensive foul, whether it's on the floor or not.
Plunkett on the left wing, picks up her dribble, inside to Hatchett. Hatchett had to fight for that ball. She had to go meet it. Now Plunkett driving in, pulls up at the right elbow, shots long, rebound Romanos.
Now Plunkett's being a little wild. She needs to try to get better shots. Maybe this one will help her.
Ball tipped away. Plunkett gets it on the other end. Good for 2. And Carl Albert has their first lead of the second period. We have 5 lead changes in the ball game. 18-16 the score now. Thomas thinks about the three, takes it, long. Plunkett with the rebound.
The defense for Carl Albert's been pretty good this quarter. They've gotten a lot of stops they weren't getting in the first quarter.
Mitchell out top of the ball. Back to Harrell in the corner. Wide open three. Long. Long rebound, Richardson.
Travel. Plunkett likes to do that. She likes to catch and set her feet. It's just important she sets her feet before she catches it, but that was a good call by the ref.
Only 3 turnovers for each team. So both teams protecting the ball pretty well.
Yep. So far, I believe only 4 points for El Reno this quarter. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I did not write down the score at the end of the first.
I think it was 12-8. So Carl Albert's defense has tightened up. They've not given up anything in transition this quarter, too. That's been a big deal. Who will that be on? Is that going to be on El Reno? Yep.
It is on El Reno.
Well, that is a 15th foul, but that's an offensive foul, so no free throws.
Romano's second personal foul, and that is another turnover for El Reno. 3:07 on the clock here in the Buffalo Wild Wings second period. 18-16. Carl Albert has the lead and the ball. 5 team fouls on El Reno, only 1 on Carl Albert here in the second period. Sutton back in the ball game. She's at the high post. 3 by Richardson. That one's no good. Rebound picked up by Bugai. Bugai pushes the ball up the court, goes around a defender, off the glass, shot no good, foul's called.
Well, you see Bugai, when she gets the rebound, she wants to run. Carl Albert did a better job running with her, but there was still a driving lane, and so she's able to get into the free throw line.
Harrell called for her first personal foul, second team foul, and Reagan Bugai will have the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046. Bugai hits the first of the free throws.
El Reno doesn't have Thomas in. And Carl Albert does not have Audrey Plunkett in right now, so who will have an advantage? But it's important Carl Albert has good offensive possessions. If they don't want to give up anything that's going to lead to transition like that.
And there's a turnover for Carl Albert. I thought that was going to be a turnover for El Reno, but instead it's 2 points for Reagan Bugai. Bugai now with 8 points in the ball game.
She had a good jump stop there, and the Carl Albert defender ran right by her.
Boy, Sutton just threw that ball out as she was falling, and Mitchell chases it down, and boom, she drops her third tray of the game.
You know, she hit 3 in a row against Crossings on Thursday, so she has been shooting the ball unbelievably well these last few days.
There's a 3 by El Reno. Shot no good. Richardson with another board. Richardson pushing the ball up the court. Headed to the hole, and a foul called on Romanos. That'll be her third personal foul.
That's a tough one. I thought Romanos, she may have been too far in the basket. We're not seeing Coach Douglas for El Reno argue that much, but there's Jordan Richardson making an impact. She hasn't come out for a reason since she came in the game about 2 or 3 minutes into the first quarter.
What a skilled freshman.
Her and Paris Baker of Dale City, unbelievable.
Jordan Richardson hits the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Those are two unbelievable freshmen, about pretty long for guards. They're about 5'9", 5'10", and just a lot of energy and a lot of know-how on offense.
Richardson hits both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She has 9 points in the ball game. A 3-point lead for Carl Albert. Bugai brings the ball back up the court. Richardson on D. Elizondo across the court. Good ball movement now by El Reno as it seemed to have stalled there for a minute. Now Bugai, top of the key for three. Back of the iron, no good. Thomas gets the offensive board.
Boy, Bugai got a really good shot that just missed it. You could tell she's the go-to player for El Reno, at least in this game she is. She's the one who's getting good shots, just didn't make the last two.
Harrell sets up the offense for Carl Albert. Mitchell on the left wing. Plunkett at the high post. Sutton bounces into the corner. Open. Defense closes. Harrell in the paint, kicks the ball back out this time instead of trying to shoot in the trees. Richardson puts a shot up, no good. Gets her own rebound after it bounces around. That one comes out. And now Richardson with the ball in her hands once again, and a jump ball call on the block by Thomas. I believe that'll be Carl Albert ball. We haven't had a jump ball the entire quarter.
Well, you know what? During the JV games, I have to commend the El Reno fans for being pretty loud. They have been kind of subdued this game, but they didn't. They made their presence felt this last sequence. They thought 2 or 3 times it should have been El Reno ball, and they're onto something there. They might be right.
Plunkett makes a nice move, but just doesn't finish well. Rebound ends up in the hands of El Reno. Elizondo wide open under the basket for 2. And it's a 1-point game.
The Carl Albert transition defense is going to be tested in a way it usually is not, because they can't just pressure El Reno and intimidate them like they do with other teams with their guards.
23-22, 10 seconds on the clock here in this second period, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Mitchell drives around her defender. There's a three by Sutton, long off the back iron. Thomas with the rebound. Mitchell steals it away as the buzzer sounds. And at halftime, the Carl Albert Lady Titans have a 1-point lead, 23-22, over the El Reno Lady Indians here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
How can you describe Whataburger's Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese? It's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Whataburger, please bring back the Monterey melt. Bring back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're brinfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Bring it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Lady Titans lead the El Reno Lady Indians by 1 point at halftime, 23-22. Phenomenal game, good defensive game thus far. As we look at the statistics from the first half of play, only 3 players scoring for Carl Albert. 9 points for Evie Mitchell, all coming from behind the arc, 3 threes. 9 points for Jordan Richardson. That is a 3-pointer, 2 two-point field goals and 2 free throws. And then 5 points for Audrey Plunkett, one of those coming at the line. For the El Reno Indians, the scoring a little more spread out with 6 players scoring. 8 points for Reagan Bugay, 5 points for Emery Elizondo, 3 points for Lily Thomas, 2 for Juliana Thomas, Fallon McHenry Guzman, and 2 for Aaron Roman Nose. Rebounding is fairly even for the two teams, 14 rebounds for El Reno, 13 rebounds for Carl Albert. Carl Albert has 2 additional offensive boards, 4 of those for Carl Albert. El Reno's gone to the line, shooting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws a lot more often than Carl Albert. 10 free throws attempted in the first half by El Reno. They connected on 8 of them, 8 out of 10. Only 3 free throws attempted by Carl Albert in the first half. They connected on all 3 of those. Shooting percentage, Carl Albert's attempted a lot more field goals in the game, 25 shot attempts compared to only 15 for El Reno. El Reno's connected on 48% of their shots, 7 of 15 in the game. Carl Albert's connected on 31%. They are 8 of 25. Neither team shooting from beyond the arc well. 0 for 3 beyond the arc for El Reno. 4 for 12 beyond the arc for Carl Albert.
Well, Carl Albert's made them, and that's a big deal. And they're going to keep shooting them, especially if El Reno plays a zone. What we're interested to see here in the second half, Jakari Brown went to the bench in the first quarter, about midway through the first with 2 fouls. Never came back in. And, again, she's been injured the last couple weeks, so that may be part of it, but also maybe just making sure there's no third foul if the game doesn't get away from Carl, which it did. They played well in her absence. What type of game will she have? She didn't play the second half against Elgin, by the way, on Friday. I'm sure it's not an injury thing. That's why she came out as fouls. So what will she be able to do in this third quarter will be and fourth potentially will be a big part of this game. And remember, these teams are playing for a district championship. El Reno can win the district championship with a tiebreaker over Carl Albert if they win by 4 points or more. Carl Albert obviously needs to play within 3 points. They would like to win outright, though, so they can say they're the outright 5A1 district champions this year. El Reno, of course, won it last year.
Well, we are underway here in the third period. Carl Albert with a 1-point lead, 23-22. Third period brought to you by Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance. The Newby Agency is your local Oklahoma farm insurance agency in Midwest City. Our agency is family-owned and operated and has been serving the public for over 40 years now. There's a 3 put up by McHenry Guzman, and the rebound by Maddie Moss.
Plunkett was in position, just didn't get it. It's another possession for El Reno. By the way, we do see Jakari Brown starting, but also Jordan Richardson is starting. So a different lineup for Carl Albert. Hayden Harrell, I believe, is not starting this third quarter, who normally starts the game.
Patrick Newby Insurance, by the way, their office is located off of 29th and Air Depot near Tinker Air Force Base. Come by and see them at 560 West Boeing Drive, Suite A, or give them a call at 405-733-7671. Another missed 3 by El Reno. Rebound by Carl Albert. El Reno now 0 for 5 from beyond the arc in the ballgame. Jakari Brown lets the ball slip through her hands. She chases it down just before it goes into the backcourt. Brown for 3. Boom! There's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 for Jakari Brown.
You see that on her super subs instant replay. I don't think that's how they drew it up, though, Tracy. It was kind of a mistake on offense initially, but then they recovered real well and kind of caught El Reno off guard.
Thomas just pushing defenders back. She works her way to the goal and puts up the shot for 2.
It's the first time we've seen Thomas really go at Carl Albert and score. And I think, again, Plunkett has got to be double-teaming that more firmly.
And I have failed to talk about our 3-point sponsor, Bobby Lewis Insurance. I need to make sure I do that here. Bobby Lewis Insurance has surprisingly great rates in 2 locations to serve you. Choctaw at 405-281-6700 and Dale City at 405-670-3665. There's a turnover by El Reno.
It's the second time they tried to go into Thomas, who had fine post position, and they just made a bad pass. I'm surprised. That you would think El Reno would be more seasoned and when it came to executing that. When it comes to throwing the ball inside to Lily Thomas, who has a big size advantage, you think El Reno would not have missed the mark like that on their passes.
Plunkett from just beyond the free throw line misses the shot. Bugai gets the rebound. Plunkett reaching in. The fans wanted a foul on Plunkett. Didn't get the call. And Thomas battles to the hole. She's going to get the and one.
Yeah, that time she got really good position, and Plunkett couldn't get there in time.
Hatchett just picked up her third personal foul.
Tough defensive assignment for Hatchett. And Plunkett, she loves to freelance on defense, but she may need to consider staying with Thomas more often to help out whoever's guarding her, which probably will now be Kinley Sutton.
Thomas gets the Toonie Buys Houses free throw, and El Reno has the lead at 27-26. And that is the 8th lead change of the ball game, first of the second half. There's a three from the corner by Sutton. Boom! It's another Bobby Lewis Insurance three, courtesy Kinley Sutton.
Well, and they're going to call a foul on Jordan Richardson. I've never seen a freshman player be so expressive about a foul being called there. I didn't see if there was merit to that. It's her second foul. But we know that Sutton, I almost called her Cam Sutton, that's her sister. We know she can shoot threes. She showed that when she would play in late minutes last year.
The guy looking inside for Thomas. Thomas bounces out, takes the pass. Gets Sutton spun around, and then Thomas just loses the ball. Eddie Mitchell's on the floor holding the ball, and a timeout called by
Richie.
Yeah.
Obviously stay in possession. It'll be a 30. You'll see coaches do this, and there were no timeouts called in the first half, Tracy. So
None.
Once you get to the second half, you have all your timeouts. It's definitely not too soon to use a timeout to save a possession and avoid a jump ball. A jump ball would have been Carl Albert's ball, but now they'll call the next jump ball. So it's still, I think that's a good use of your timeout. And I think Carl Albert needs to get a little bit more set on offense because, again, bad offensive possessions can lead to El Reno's baskets. A lot of El Reno's baskets have either been in transition or in what they will call secondary transition. And that happens when you have a bad offensive possession. You turn it over, you miss a shot real long, and they get the rebound, and you don't get back on defense, at least not well enough. So Carl needs to have good offensive possessions where they can get set on defense afterwards.
Carl Howard's had no turnovers here in the third period. El Reno has had 2 already.
Reno's baskets have come pushing the ball off defensive rebounds. That last three-point play they had with Thomas was an example of that.
Now, they did get an offensive rebound with multiple attempts at three-point shots on their first possession of the period. This last possession was just not a good one for them. Brown in the corner. Skip pass to Mitchell. Mitchell looking, the crack across. Brown for 3, in and out. Mitchell gets the offensive board. Thomas puts some pressure on her. Mitchell trying to get out of the corner. Double team. Ball goes out of bounds. And Carl Albert ball.
Yeah, Mitchell probably should. Maybe she was thinking about throw the ball off the foot of Thomas or whoever's guarding her because she had no room. Now she's got room.
Mitchell's shot goes in and out. And
that foul. Oh, I thought it'd be out of bounds on Jordan Richardson. It's calling a foul. Now that one is one on that goes against Carl Albert that I don't like. I've seen a couple fouls a couple calls against El Reno or non-calls that I would probably take issue with. That's one where I think they should just let him play. That's going to be 3 fouls now on Jordan Richardson. That's a big deal.
29-27 still, 2-point lead for Carl Albert. 3:49 to play in the third. Corner shot. Bugai takes it. No good, back iron. Long rebound goes to McHenry Guzman. Couple of offensive boards here in the third period. Now a turnover inside. Richardson comes up with the ball. 3 turnovers now for El Reno in this third period. Richardson in the paint, kicks the ball back out to Plunkett. And the pass from Mitchell intended for Sutton in the corner. He gets tipped by Bugai.
Bugai will do that. She's going to try to get deflections like a lot of the Carl Albert players will. And she's disrupted some possessions for Carl Albert. They had Sutton wide open if that pass was completed.
Sutton inbounds to Plunkett. And now Brown out top.
Carl Albert can be as patient as they want against his own.
Harrell runs across the court, right wing, takes the pass, look inside. Plunkett at the high post, Sutton at the low post. There's a three. Boom! It is the first bucket of the game by Hayden Harrell.
Now, Hayden Harrell's had a bit of a rough game, but she, like a lot of these players, can hit that open wing three. She was wide open. She knew she was going to shoot before she caught it, and that's one of the reasons she made that.
Three from the corner by El Reno. Bounces around to get their offensive board. And the putback's no good. Mitchell with the rebound.
Good slow down.
Harrell puts up another shot, and a foul's called on the floor on El Reno. That foul's going on McHenry Guzman. That'll be her second personal foul.
Worked out for Carl, but I don't think that was after making a good decision to pull out for Harrell, I don't think that was a great idea at a shot, but it worked out for Carl Albert because they drew a loose ball foul. First foul in El Reno this quarter.
Harrell takes the inbound pass, pulls up for the long two.
Now, I like that shot because she got the ball past Buga, dribbled in, and showed nice touch there. So she's hit 2 shots in a row, or the last 5 points for Carl Albert, I should say.
Thomas at the top of the key. Sutton on D. Thomas driving in the paint. Shot goes up, blocked, and rebound Brown.
Oh, I guess Coach Douglas was more argumentative than I thought. Either she drew a technical or someone on the El Reno bench did.
Someone on the El Reno bench drew a technical foul.
And Coach Douglas is not she hasn't been very lively. And they're saying it's on the bench, so she's going to get an explanation. That's always a curious thing when we're watching the game from a bit of a distance. Someone says the magic words. We have no idea what it is. We can only speculate. But some Toonie Bice for House's free throws, some bonus free throws for Carl Albert because they're going to get the ball back too.
And it's 7-point lead right now for Carl Albert. Biggest lead of the ball game for either team. Jakari Brown at the line with as you said, the Toonie Bice House's free throws. Misses the first.
And we haven't seen many free throws shot by Carl Albert. This could become a big deal for them if they can make free throws.
Brown misses the first, hits the second. 8-point lead, 35-27.
Yeah, Carl Albert's starting to put some distance here because they're making jump shots. El Reno has not been making jump shots this game. They're sticking with the zone as El Reno. Carl Albert just needs to continue to be patient.
Harrell pass down low. Brown back out to Harrell at the top. Harrell's such a skilled basketball player, but the quick hands and height of El Reno has been a problem for her most of the first half, but she's finding her way here in the second half.
Just needs to make the simple pass. As long as she makes a simple pass, she'll be okay.
Sutton's had some space down low. They've left her open. Carl Albert hasn't gotten the ball to her. Brown pulls up, shoots a little long. Mitchell gets her shot blocked after getting the offensive board. And foul called on Audrey Plunkett as she swiped at that one and come across the arms.
Yeah, that's Abby Mitchell overplayed the offensive player Phil Reno there, that being Elizondo, and gave her an easy driving lane. I'm not sure why she did that, just overplayed it there. She needs to try to stay in front of Elizondo, prevent Plunkett from getting any more fouls, even though that free throw by Toonie Bice Houses was no good, the first one.
Toonie Bice Houses in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Elizondo misses the first, hits the second. Back to a 7-point game, 35-28 with 1 minute left to play in the third period. Third period brought to you by Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance.
El Reno switched to a man defense. It's going to be hard for Carl Albert to pass the ball around if they want to, but maybe they'll have some matchups they can attack as well.
Plunkett has not been a big factor offensively in the ballgame thus far. This man defense may give her some opportunities. Brown trying to drive, and we're going to have a foul called on El Reno away from the ball. That foul's going on Elizondo, her first personal foul.
Pretty amazing she only has one foul because she's been in the game a long time.
That was Plunkett's first foul a minute ago as well.
That's true.
Inbound to Brown. Kari Brown looking for somewhere to go, dribbling a lot, passes off to Harrell. Right back to Brown on the left wing.
They're back to the 2-3 zone. I would try to pass the ball around and hold for the last shot unless you get a 5 count, which you want to avoid. Now they're going to call a hand check.
That one's on Elizondo as well.
I'll say this for El Reno. They don't commit many shooting fouls. They commit fouls on the floor that don't lead to free throws. They had 5 fouls in the first or the second quarter, but none of them led to free throws. The 5th foul was an offensive foul.
23 seconds to play and 4 fouls on each team now. Mitchell inbounds, gives to Plunkett out top. Plunkett picks up her dribble and gets called for the travel.
The guy made it hard to hand it off to Harrell, and that threw Plunkett off. She's been called for travel a couple times. That's a big turnover because now Reno can get a possession here that they otherwise may not have gotten. Oh, we're going to call Plunkett for the foul away from the ball. That's going to lead to free throws.
Wow. They are blowing the whistle right now.
Yeah, you just want to avoid doing that when your team is in the penalty.
Emery Elizondo will get the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She is 2 for 3 from the line in the ball game. It is still a 7-point game, 35-28, 15 seconds left to play in this third period. Elizondo hits the first free throw.
Yeah, if you're Plunkett, you don't have to be so physical. Again, when your team is in the penalty, you have to be aware of that.
Elizondo off the front of the rim with a second. Plunkett gets the rebound. 10 seconds to play in the third. Shakari Brown, right wing, inside. Harrell all alone, does not use the backboard and misses the shot. Bugai gets the rebound. Floater at the buzzer's no good by Thomas. And after 3 periods of play, it is the Carl Albert Lady Titans leading the El Reno Lady Indians 35-29. That was a 12-7 third period for Carl Albert. Keep watching right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School where the Carl Albert Lady Titans are in control going into the fourth period. A 6-29 over the Reno Lady Indians. This game is for the district championship. El Reno would need to win by 4 points or more to take the district championship away from Carl Albert. Carl Albert with the ball to begin this fourth period, brought to you by Louis. Louis in Mid-City at 6007 Southeast 15th Street. Louis, we're in your neighborhood, and I am thankful, Jordan, that Louis is in my neighborhood. I saw you there this past week. I dropped in to get some fish tacos. You can get fish tacos a lot of places around the area, but my favorite fish tacos anywhere are the fish tacos at Louis.
Well, that was crazy. We ran into each other. We came in at the same time. That was not planned. Just to tell people that it was not planned. I came to Louis to talk to former Midwest City quarterback from long ago, Cale Gundy, who was there as well. Not that I know him. I wanted to meet him, actually, and try to get him on for a Midwest City game in the future. But, yes, we got to talk for a little bit. And I ate there the next day with Bernie, one of our camera operators, and it was good pepperoni pizza.
Jordan Richardson at the line shooting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She made the first. Second free throw coming up. Again, Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046. Richardson hits both free throws.
And that possession was because Carl Albert had the jump ball. They got the first possession of the fourth quarter. That's why you call that timeout in the third quarter to save a jump ball like Richie did.
And the foul was called on Lily Thomas. Lily Thomas returns the favor, and she drives in on the other end. Gets the foul call on Malia Hatchett, her fourth personal foul.
Well, even though it's Hatchett's fourth, it's a big deal. That could have been Plunkett's third, I think, because she was right there as well. That's a big deal that's on Hatchett. I mean, Hatchett's a good player, but she's not necessarily going to finish every close game. You have other players you can go to that can help with what she does, but Plunkett's irreplaceable. So you want her avoiding that third foul as long as you can.
Thomas misses the first, hits the second.
You'll see Kinley Sutton check in for Hatchett. Similar type of player, probably not the defender quite that Hatchett is, but a better shooter, I think. And so, you're not giving up a whole lot when you trade in Sutton for Hatchett.
El Reno is 3 for 6 at the line in the second half, so not shooting as well at the free throw line as they did during the first half. Carl Albert with the ball, called for a travel.
Maybe because the game's closer, this gets magnified a bit, but they're committing some turnovers as Carl Albert that you don't normally see. There's some travels because they're trying to gather their feet after they catch it.
8 turnovers for El Reno in the ball game, 7 for Carl Albert now. That's most of the stats are fairly even.
Except for threes.
And Evie Mitchell gets the steal. Ball's going the other way. Richardson catches it down low. Plunkett out top of the ball. Goes left, screen set. Defender switches. Loose ball.
Timeout.
Timeout, Coach.
As soon as the Crawford player goes to the ground, Coach Ritchie will use a timeout. We'll see how many more times he does it. They'll be down to 3, but that's not really a problem right now. As long as they maintain the lead, they're fine with 3 timeouts.
6:27 left to play in the ball game. It's a 30-second timeout. 7-point lead for Carl Albert, 37-30.
But Sutton's being guarded by the bigger Lily Thomas, and she's kind of getting intimidated in that corner or near that corner. She's got to be strong with the ball, pick the ball up if you have to. But you don't want to be calling a timeout every possession. You can't do that. You'll be out of timeout soon.
So Jordan, if you're Coach Douglas for El Reno, you not only need to win this game, you're 7 points down. You need to win it by 4. So you need to pick up 11 points on Carl Albert in the next 6.5 minutes, and 11 points. You haven't scored 11 points in a quarter yet. So what do you do to pick up at 11 points?
Now you keep going inside of Thomas. That's all because she can get you easy baskets or get to the free throw line. The question is, what will they do on defense? Will they do anything different? Will they try to trap any? They're trapping right there.
Mitchell for 3. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Evie Mitchell, her 4th of the ball game.
That's not the player you want to trap off of, though. So that was not great execution for El Reno.
El Reno for 3. That one's short. Long rebound. It was, that was McHenry Guzman chasing down her own rebound.
Now Plunkett switched on Thomas, so we got some good size on size there. We'll see if she can stay out of foul trouble.
Elizondo at top, Hatchett on D. Now Thomas takes the ball out top. From the elbow, shot's good.
Right over Plunkett, too. Impressive shot. It's a long 2, but still it's badly needed by El Reno.
Jakari Brown brings the ball down the court, passes out to Evie Mitchell. The guy comes out and defends Mitchell. Mitchell still has her dribble. Now Brown on the left wing again. 5:10 to play in the ball game. Hatchett. Mitchell top of the key, trying to go around Thomas. Puts up the shot off the front of the rim. Reach again, no foul called. Thomas got that rebound. And Bugai goes in with a floater. Shot no good. Richardson takes the ball away, but a foul called, and I believe that's going on Richardson.
I think you're right. Just a little bit too much body contact.
That's 4 on Richardson now. 2 fouls on Carl Albert.
We're going to try to save Richardson for some point later in this game, even though we're getting down to crunch time. I think that's this for Carl Albert. They shouldn't shoot any more shots like what Evie Mitchell does. That was a tough left-handed runner. Why is Mitchell about to throw it in? She's like, she had like a brain fart there. You saw her expression there. That was kind of funny.
Bugai driving in, fakes the pass off the glass and one.
Yeah, you would see now Carl Albert had Jordan Richardson guard Bugai, and that may be who they want. And Bugai is one of the other players who can take over here.
Bugai getting the Toonie Buys Houses free throw.
You knew El Reno's going to make a run, and so this could be 5 quick points for him.
Bugai misses the free throw, rebound by Hatchett. Carl Albert sets up their offense now. Plunkett out top. Still the 6-point lead. 4.5 minutes to play. Still anybody's game. Brown somehow gets around Thomas off the lob.
Good vision there by Audrey Plunkett. And, yeah, Brown finishing over Thomas, just going up quickly and avoiding her shot being blocked.
8-point lead again for Carl Albert. Plunkett tips the ball away from Thomas. Thomas comes back up with it, and Jakari Brown steals it away. Brown's going to the hole, lays it up left-handed. Good for 2.
She's a righty, folks, but she's very comfortable with that left hand. And now Carl Albert can sniff a district title. They got some work to do, but they're getting close.
Our instant replay brought to you by Super Subs, where they have the chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken, and stay with us here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Lady Titans have opened up now a 10-point lead over the El Reno Lady Indians. 4th period of play. We're halfway through the final frame of this one, brought to you by Louis in Midwest City. Louis, we're in your neighborhood.
Carl Albert going press with the lead. That usually you don't see teams use a press when they have the lead for the, when they usually, unless they press the whole game. Nice pass.
And El Reno beats the press, no problem. Getting the ball to Lily Thomas down low for 2 points.
Yeah, I just don't know about that idea. Because El Reno has really good guards who can handle most pressure.
Jakari Brown going against the D of Juliana Thomas. Mitchell gets around her defender, kicks the ball in the corner to Hatchett for 3. Boom! Wow. It's a Bobby Lewis insurance 3 for Malia Hatchett.
You know, I said she has been shooting the ball well from there, but she's not going to hesitate when she catches it clean like that. And what a time to make that 3.
11-point lead now for Carl Albert, 47-36, 3 minutes to play.
Keep in mind, these teams beat up on everyone else in this district.
Bugai for 3, front of the rim, shot no good. Brown with the rebound.
El Reno probably more so than Carl Albert has won by the full 15 points or more. That's the most district points you can get. And Carl Albert to be up by 11 after beating them earlier this year is just amazing. Nice pass.
And Brown cannot handle the pass under the basket. She was wide open. It was a little bit high, but should have pulled that one in.
Well, you know, it's interesting. No matter what, Carl Albert will have a nice lead when they get the ball back. It may be only 8 points and maybe more. But El Reno only has 1 foul, so we'll see when Coach Douglas decides to start using those fouls.
You know, El Reno is still not connected on a three-pointer in this ball game.
It's a big stat. Speaking of big, Brown's had some big minutes this half.
Brown with another steal and another bucket.
And she's not 100%, folks, but she has been tremendous this half.
13-point lead for Carl Albert now. Thomas battling her way to the hole, gets the bucket.
Yeah, there are not many players who can just make Audrey Plunkett seem small like that, but Lily Thomas is one of them. And she's had a good game for Carl Albert, or El Reno.
Thomas only had 3 points in the first half, but she already has 12 in the second half.
And this girl, this senior, Evie Mitchell, remember she missed her entire sophomore year, came off the bench last year, And she has had a tremendous senior season and also a really good game in both halves.
Evie Mitchell, the super subs instant replay, gave you that replay by her. And she now has the Toonie Buys Houses free throw coming with a 13-point lead.
You keep track of stats, Tracy, even though she missed that free throw, though it's a lane violation. Only has to be on El Reno unless Mitchell crossed the line before it hit the rim, but she didn't, so she'll get another one here. But I believe she's the team's leading scorer this game.
I'll have to add things up. Mitchell still misses the free throw. She has 14 points in the ball game. And another turnover by El Reno. Brown on the right wing, a minute and a half to play. It looks like Carl Albert's well in control of this ball game now, Jordan.
Yes, and I'm so happy about this. I'm biased, I know, folks, but this means that Midwest City girls will come to the regional if this holds for Carl Albert. And how about Jakari Brown this half? I think we'll need to interview her and Evie Mitchell.
Jakari Brown with 12 points in the second half, 8 of them coming in the fourth period, along with a couple of steals.
I believe she had none. A rare turnover on El Reno on Bugai going out of bounds. I think Jakari Brown had none in the first half as far as scoring, so because she didn't play very much.
8 turnovers by El Reno in the second half of play. That's more turnovers than
we can start
Carl
talking
Albert's
about
had in the whole game.
Talking about, sorry to interrupt you there, Tracy, but who El Reno or Carl Albert will be hosting. They'll host John Marshall. That'll be their first game. As Coach Douglas is going to unload the bench, so we can now pretty much declare it. Because again, they had to win by 4. They're down 15. They're not going to make up 19 points under a minute. Carl Albert we'll also have here on Tuesday, so 8 days from now, and we see a timeout being called full timeout by Carl Albert. We want to keep it right here just to talk about what we have in store on Tuesday here at the Carl Albert Regional now. Midwest City finished 4th in their district. They will be hosting Noble, and that will be, I believe, the second game. The home teams now play first. They used to be the other way until last year. And so John Marshall will play Carl Albert here on game 1. Game 2 will be Midwest City Noble. And maybe we can have on Friday afternoon a Midwest City Carl Albert Regional Championship. And that's the sort of thing that I live for, Tracy, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Cross town, cross district. When we say district, cross school district rivals. A lot of these kids are friends with one another during the week, and then
been friends for years. They play against each other since they were little kids.
Many of them played on the same AAU teams and different things like that, and then to play against each other for a regional championship, that's exciting stuff.
And we don't want to forget about Del City. We'll have them covered too. They should be hosting Lawton MacArthur. Altus will play there against each other, and then Santa Fe South will go to Del City as well.
Yeah, and even though it looks like now with 45 seconds left that Carl Albert's got 2 wins in the season over El Reno, don't count out these two teams facing each other at some point in the playoffs once again. Don't count El Reno coming out and making their way through the playoffs.
Well, Reno will host Duncan. That's probably as Jackie Brown makes a nice backdoor pass before a foul's called. And I'm going to go down there in a second, Tracy, but El Reno has to host Duncan. Duncan may be the hottest girls team in 5A. They won at Del City last week, and that could be the regional championship at El Reno. That will be an interesting game. I will be following that game on my phone if that matchup takes place, which I'm sure it will. But I'm going to go and head down there, Tracy.
All right, 25 seconds to play. 53-38 the score. Carl Albert Lady Titans leading the El Reno Lady Indians. And Carl Albert just holding the ball now. Kinley Sutton out top. Jordan Ray's making his way down to the court to interview Coach Jay Ritchie and our player of the game. And our player of the game, folks, when we make that announcement in just a moment, brought to you by Triple Elite Screen Printing. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite Screen Printing. Foul comes on El Reno with 4 seconds left on the clock. And that is going to put Jacqueline Brown at the line shooting 2 free throws. First one rims out. The free throw is brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. In any condition, call them today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Second free throw is good, and the score is now 54-38. And that's a final, folks. Great second half by the Carl Albert Lady Titans as they get the victory and secure the district championship. Jordan Ray down on the court again. Player of the game brought to you by Triple Elite Screen Printing. That fourth period brought to you by Louis in Midwest City. Louis, we're in your neighborhood. Leading scorer in the ball game, I believe, was Evie Mitchell, but Jakari Brown come on strong. She had 12 in the second half of play, 8 of those in the fourth period. Evie Mitchell connected on 4 threes in the ball game. She ended up with 14 for Carl Albert. Jordan Ray's ready to go with Coach Price and the players, so we're going to go to Jordan.
All right, Richie, no small task beating El Reno, and you win by about 15. I mean, talk about what it took to beat a team like this, because that, again, is no small feat. They're the defending champs.
Team. That's all I can really say. Team. We over me. That's how I got done tonight.
And on defense, under 40 points too. It was that. I know that's a lot of team, but anything else you could say about the defense?
Great shell D. They followed the game plan. Our goal is 40 points a game. I don't care who we're playing. It's 10 a quarter. And then we got to at least score 41. What these ladies did defensively tonight, unbelievable. We limited them to one shot. Man, I couldn't be prouder.
What does it mean to go undefeated in district?
I mean, it got us the 1 seed, but everybody is 0-0 right now. These two girls have been in the state tournament. They know it's over. It's 0-0. Do not let a 24-1 be sitting at home and not in the state tournament.
All right, Coach. Well, we look forward to seeing what you guys do this week.
Thank you.
Okay, Jakari, you've been injured some, right? You were gone out. You didn't play Thursday. How were you feeling in that second half and when you started to play unbelievable basketball?
I felt fresh. I mean, I didn't play the first half, foul trouble, so couldn't let my team down. Had to get this district title, you know.
Well, so what was your mentality? Because you didn't play in the first half because of foul trouble. You didn't play much last week because of injuries. What was your mentality heading into the second half?
We're already here close. We're already close. Couldn't let it slip out. You had to finish the job.
What does it mean to sweep El Reno and win the district?
It's okay, you know. It's okay.
Well, you played like it was more than okay. So, but congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Okay, Evie, you're a player of the game here, and you were hitting threes really since last week. I saw you shoot really well. What's going on with your shot?
I mean, I've just been working them. Trying to fix it because I was in a little bit of a slump there for a while, and so I went and stayed after practice to shoot, and now they're hitting. So
now they're hitting. Okay, and what's it been like this season now, starting after 2 years ago you've had to miss the season with an injury? You got to play with your sister on senior night. What's this season been like for you?
It's been great. I feel like this team is so close, and I love playing with them. I'm going to miss them so much, and just playing together, it feels like so genuine. And I'm just so glad to be a part of this team.
El Reno's pretty good. You won by 50. What does it mean to, again, play this well as a team and beat a team like this and win your district?
It feels great. Like Richie said, it's we over me. No one cares who scores as long as we win, and that's the mentality you have to go into playoffs.
All right, congratulations. I know you got more in store for us next week, right?
Yes.
All right, congratulations.
All right, folks, we are back. Jordan's done with the interviews, and it is congratulations once again to the Carl Albert Lady Titans district champions on the 54-38 win over the El Reno Lady Indians. I want to thank our sponsors for making the broadcast possible today. Our starting lineups are sponsored by Dynamic Health, free throws sponsored by Toonie Buys Houses, Bobby Lewis Insurance, our three-point sponsor, Super Sub, sponsoring instant replays. Our player of the game brought to you by Triple Elite Screen Printing, and, of course, our quarter sponsors, Scrambled, Buffalo Wild Wings, Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance, and Louis in Midwest City. Once again, congratulations to Coach Kyle Ritchie and the Carl Albert Lady Titans on the district championship and the 54-38 win over El Reno here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brumped it all right. What a burger!
Okay, happy to be joined by Carl Albert boys coach Jay Price. Coach, we talked about how nice the win was against Elgin because you clinch a home district. But on the court, what were some things you guys took care of that you were pleased with as far as making execution and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, defensively, we started really slow. We didn't do a great job of some of the principles that we talked about. And then second quarter, we did a much better job. We shut them down and we were able to create a lot of turnovers and do a better job defensively. Then after that, we had to try to focus on trying to break down their zone. They run a zone. We haven't seen a whole lot of zone, at least a 3-2. And so we had to make some adjustments. And once we finally started seeing some of the things that can break a zone down, we started creating some shots for ourselves and making some shots. And I think that was, some of the keys to us stretching the game out a little bit.
Let's talk about some more of your players. So I want to start with Elijah Matthews, who I think he seems to be one of the guards that can get to the basket and get a good shot. But I guess the question is, and he's a lefty, and I know he's kind of inexperienced too. What do you tell him as far as him being aggressive goes? What's the challenge for him to do more, or is he doing what you want?
Yeah, when we're in a kind of a spread out type offense where there's a lot of movement and opportunity to go to the rim, he knows he has the green light to do that. And honestly, I'd like for him to be a little more aggressive with that because he really is good going left. He can create a lot of problems. He scores kind of unconventionally sometimes. He'll make a shot with the ball back over his head. He'll make a shot with his body turned, but he's got control of it with his hand, with his left hand, and scores it pretty well when he gets to the rim. And so I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive with that when we're playing a man-to-man. And then when we're in a zone, he needs to learn how to use that skill to drive into some gaps and create shots for other guys. So that's an area we'd like to see him get better at, but certainly against a man, he's tough getting to the basket and scores well.
And then let's talk about not one but 2 players that come off the bench, and they seem like twins to me because I can't always tell them apart because I don't have the best eyesight. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's Rex Reynolds and Austin Johnson.
Right.
What is there any difference between those two as far as what they do on the court because they seem so similar?
They're very similar. Austin's probably a little more aggressive shooter and scorer, mid-range type guy, things like that. They can both shoot the 3 really well. Rex hit some big ones for us the other night and really is starting to see it go in and feels really comfortable shooting the ball, which we're happy to see that because he can really shoot it. But defensively, they're similar. They both have some length, and we're working on trying to get them in the right places at the right times and all of that. But they're very similar players. They can both score it pretty well, and it's really nice to have that kind of size coming off the bench.
Okay, and El Reno, you're very familiar with like Carter Romano. So it seems like he's been there forever.
Yeah.
And then they got some really quality size, it appears, this year. So what's the challenge with El Reno? And again, you had a good game against them at their place. They won by 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So what They're a team you could definitely see one more time in the postseason. What makes them challenging this year?
Well, their big does create some issues for us. You know, we don't have a lot of size, and so he's really tough around the basket and in the lane, and so that causes some issue. We did a really good job on Romanos last time we played. Amanda Elizondo, who's their old starting point guard, has been around for a while as well. Those are both real quality, older, experienced guys. Reed really went off on us out there at El Reno. We didn't expect that. He had a really good game against us, and I thought we did a good job of containing everybody except for him, and he really hurt us. So, I've also seen Carter play the last few games, and he's been himself. Go get some rebounds, some putbacks, some block shots, hit a three, hit a jumper, get to the free throw line. He's just a really good all around player, and so the thing is that makes them so tough is they can score at a lot of levels. Coach Hayden's son can stick a three, so you can't just leave him alone. And the Reed kid can create shots. Elizondo's a great facilitator, and Romanos is just he's one of the best players in the district or in the area for that matter. Just really good, and having that big kid in there really has made a boost for them. Their depth isn't great. They're not super deep off the bench, but not necessarily, you don't try to get them in foul trouble necessarily, but if they do, they're going to lose a little quality off of that. But they're tough. I mean, they're going to be a tough game, and we don't mind playing those kind of games. We're kind of excited about it and see if we can get them back and then set ourselves up getting ready for the playoffs.
Well, a follow-up then, since you mentioned they're big, it seemed like it would be real important that LeBron Royal stay out of foul trouble, but that is something that he's kind of prone to. Would that be fair to say? And is that something you talked to him about?
Yeah, it is fair to say. We actually talked to him the other night about that against Crossings with their big guy. We didn't want LeBron to be off the floor. And, he plays so physical and he's just so aggressive. And, he's just tenacious. I mean, the guy doesn't stand around. He's always in the mix and always getting after stuff. Sometimes he gets a little too aggressive, picks up some cheap fouls, but he's definitely a guy we need on the floor against El Reno's big. And, so we're working on him trying to defend aggressively, but do it without fouling.
All right, we'll see how that goes, Coach. Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Back at Carl Albert High School for the Carl Albert Titans, the boys team taking on the El Reno Indians. And this one is El Reno in command, and they have won the district championship. Carl Albert trying to hand El Reno their first district loss of the season.
Yeah, we'll look at district standings here. Because Carl Albert lost to Lawton MacArthur here on the Oklahoma Sports Network back on January 31st, There's no way they can get into a tie with El Reno. If they did, it would all depend on how much they win by. But this is still an important game for Carl Albert. They want to play really well. They want to get, they want to show they can beat a really good team. And we're going to see if they're up for it. We'll have the starting lineups for you here coming up.
The starting lineups brought to you by Dynamic Health. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic.
Thank the Carl Albert PA guy for going over the starting lineups. That PA guy is Josh Maddox. About to give us El Reno's first, of course, then the home team.
And now the starting lineup for the visitors on the scoreboard. The El Reno Indians. Number 1, Carter Rose. Number 3, Kason Hayden. Number 10, Jonathan Reed. Number 24, Trey Davis. And number 55, Alex Elizondo. Head coach. For your Carl Albert Titans. Number 1, a sophomore, Delijah Matthews. Number 2, a junior, Adrian Randall. Number 3, a junior, Jordan Hawkins. A junior, number 21, Brandon Rogers. And a junior, number 23, LeBron Royal. Head coach Jay Price, assisted by Cameron.
All right, let's look at the starting lineups one more time here. Some things to mention about El Reno. One is you see Hayden, Kason Hayden, that is the coach's son. And as you know, coach's sons usually shoot very well. Carter Romanos, he's been starting against Carl Albert for 4 years now. He was really good as a freshman, so they're not going to miss seeing him. And, of course, they got the big man in the middle. And it's very important, as we talked about with Coach Price earlier, yesterday, in fact, that when they defend against the 6'7", and I lost track of where he is on the roster, of Trey Davis, LeBron Royal stay out of foul trouble.
Trey Davis will be jumping against Brandon Rogers.
And, of course, we want to thank Dynamic Health for being our starting lineup sponsor.
Our first quarter brought to you by Scrambled. We start this game the way you start your day. For breakfast or brunch, try their chicken and pancakes and deep-fried French toast. Located at 1742 Northeast 23rd Street, Suite A in Oklahoma City, 405-900-5972.
Speaking of Davis, right off the bat, he wins the tip, and Carter Romanos scores. That's a set play, basically, for El Reno, and very good execution there.
Seconds into the game, it's a 2-0 lead for El Reno. Rogers out top, looks inside, finds Hawkins. Hawkins hooks his defender, and now the ball's turned over. Romanos brings the ball down the court. Elizondo passed down low to Davis. Davis in the corner. Royal on D, steals the ball away from him. Rogers in the corner. Passes out to Hawkins. Hawkins for 3. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 for Jordan Hawkins. Bobby Lewis Insurance, surprisingly great rates, 2 locations to serve you. Choctaw at 405-281-6700 and Del City at 405-670-3665.
On that 3, very good vision by Adrian Randall to spot Jordan Hawkins open. And then the big man, he makes a 3.
Trey Davis can shoot.
Well, his name
Bobby
is
Lewis
Trey.
Insurance 3.
I wonder if Trey Davis is related to Lily Davis. I should have asked that.
Now Rogers out top for Carl Albert.
Lily Davis, of course, really good post player for the girls team, and she had a big size advantage as well. Carl Albert girls were able to overcome that. We'll see if the boys can.
Yeah, that was Lily Thomas.
Oh, Lily Thomas. I don't know why I thought it was Lily Davis. Good. Thank you for correcting that. They still might be related, but maybe cousins.
And foul called on Carter Romanose. His first foul of the ball game. Randall will inbound the ball for Carl Albert.
Another thing that Coach Price talked to me about, so if you were watching the broadcast in the last few minutes, you saw it. They do want Elijah Matthews, who has the ball right now, to be able to pick his spots and find the driving lanes, especially when he's going to his left, a bit more often than what he's been doing.
Randall thought about the three, passes off. Randall cuts through the paint. Bounces back out. Matthews turns into a trap. Ball stolen away, and a foul called on Matthews.
Well, the key is you got to know when you have that driving lane, you can't dribble into traffic like that. And Carter Romanos has actually been making an impact on defense and on offense because he's been around the ball on both sides.
5-3, El Reno with the lead. One foul on each team. 5.5 minutes to play in the scrambled first period. Romanos inside to Davis. Davis backing down Royal. Goes up. Shot no good. Royal gets the rebound.
That's a good shot for Davis, though, so you might want to try to limit him getting the ball that close to the basket without double teaming right away.
Randall looking to drive. In and out. Kicks the ball back out. Hawkins. Right back to Randall. Randall from the elbow. Little long. And a foul. Elijah Matthews just picked up his second personal foul.
I think it was Elizondo had Matthews boxed out well. And again, that's a sophomore mistake. He's got 2 early fouls. Elizondo had him blocked out really well. You don't need to get the offensive rebound in that situation. Sometimes you just got to accept the defensive rebound's coming for the other team.
Now El Reno, a pass down low to Romanos, and foul with the continuation. He gets the bucket.
El Reno just running good stuff on offense there. They had Thomas picking for Carter Romanos, who, of course, is such a crafty player. He can move well without the ball. And Rogers got picked, and him and Roy will have to communicate very clearly on what to do on that situation.
3 quick fouls on Carl Albert. Romanos at the line with the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. He connects on that, and it is an 8-3 lead for El Reno. Randall on the left wing. Royal setting the screen. Royal bounces back into the low post. Hawkins, free throw line. Foot slips a little bit. Royal under the basket. Shot blocked by Davis, and he gets the rebound.
Yeah, Royal's got to use pump fakes when Davis is around him.
Travel called on the other end. Turnover for El Reno. 2 turnovers for each team now. 8-3 is the score. 4:22 left to play in the first period.
That's Hayden. That's the coach's kid. Uncharacteristic mistake. But we've seen these refs will call travels. They did it in the girls' game a few times.
Screen set by Rogers. Boy, he had that leg stuck way out on that screen. Be careful he doesn't draw an offensive foul.
Well, that's how he shoots, too. He has his feet spread. We have a timeout by Coach Price. He just doesn't like what he's seeing on offense right now, so he'll call a 30-second timeout.
No one looks comfortable on offense for Carl Albert right at the moment.
Yeah, they run just basically 5 out, just trying to pass the ball, looking for the open guy. They don't run a lot of sets against a man defense. And so, when you know that, if you're on defense, it can be easy to defend if you just maintain your fundamentals. And El Reno's obviously going to be a really good fundamental team. It's one of the reasons why they're undefeated in district play. So we'll see if they run some type of set play or more screening action rather than just simply running 5 out. But if they stick with their 5 out, again, you want to get Elijah Matthews in a position where he can drive to his left. Even though he's got 2 fouls, he's staying in the game, so you still want to use him on offense.
And El Reno is actually 21-1 on the season. Their only loss coming to Broken Arrow, the largest school in the state, a 9-point loss. Matthews pulls up, goes off the glass a little long.
Yeah,
Hayden gets the rebound.
I have no idea how Reno would do against some of the good teams in the other West Side district, but they have enough offensive firepower, and they're intelligent enough. I think they could play with Lawton High, Del City easily.
A three missed by El Reno. Rebound by Randall. And Carl Albert sets up their offense. Boy, Hayden came close to a pick for El Reno. Randall misses the three. And
call over the back or...
Boy, I don't know about that foul.
Yeah, I don't know if it's...
Okay. I thought she pointed the other direction on the foul. I like the change.
The people around us don't. But, yeah, they're going to call it on Jonathan Reed instead. I'm not sure what he did, so I don't blame the El Reno fans for being unhappy, but
I did not think there was a foul on Hawkins.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now Xavier Garcia will come in. He had a really good second half, really good second and third quarter against Elgin. He scores there, so Xavier, and he forced a turnover. So Xavier Garcia comes in right away and started to make stuff happen. I'm kind of surprised he didn't come in sooner for Matthews because Matthews had 2 fouls, but he's in now.
He's a fun player to watch. Brings a lot of energy, good ball player.
He's the only senior who plays regular minutes for Carl Albert.
Garcia in the corner, going against Elizondo. A couple of jab steps. Pulls up, and another bucket for Garcia. Wow.
Well, someone's got
a 1-point game.
When you make that type of shot, Elizondo's defense was pretty good. When you make that type of shot, you're definitely in a rhythm.
Yeah, Garcia's feeling it already here tonight. Elizondo out top, Davis. Reed, the right wing. Pass across the court. Roman Nose has it out top. Inside to Davis. Davis bounces out with the ball, dribbles once and picks his dribble up. Now Hayden.
Nice block.
Shot blocked by Rogers, rebound by Royal.
Nice pass.
And Royal gets the and one. Foul call on Elizondo.
Yeah, I'm really liking how Adrian Randall's here. He's got active eyes, meaning he's using them, looking for an open teammate. And I think they call that foul on Elizondo because he was too far in the basket. I think that's good. That's a good call in spite of what the El Reno faithful say.
Full timeout. We'll take one as well here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brumped it all right. What a burger!
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, and Dedrick Jones producing for us tonight.
And Joseph, I always forget his last name, Joseph Shear, I think, is our camera operator.
Joseph Shear doing a great job on the camera. We have Toonie Buys Houses free throws coming for LeBron Royal. Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Davis gets the rebound on the missed free throw. And an offensive board for Elizondo on a miss by Gabe Osborne, who's in the game.
Well, Reno transitioned on a missed free throw. Got a good look, just didn't get to go.
And then turned the ball over. 4 turnovers for El Reno here in this first period. Randall sets up the offense for Carl Albert. Down low to Royal. Royal bodying up. Davis blocks the shot, and Royal gets his own rebound and goes back up with it.
Well, I thought, that sometimes you see that called a jump ball. But good for Carl, but they didn't call that. And what a battle with Royal and Davis. Davis now trying to score.
And Royal now gets a hand on the ball, tips that one out of bounds. Davis is going to get frustrated with Royal here in just a moment.
Well, he has the height advantage, obviously, but LeBron Royal has everything else you want in a post player. He just doesn't have height as far as the physical attributes.
Great hands as well. And another turnover.
Great hands, great strength, great explosiveness, tough mentality. He's just not that tall, but he has everything else, like I said, as far as what you want from a post player in physical attributes.
Well, you mentioned tough mentality. He is probably mentally one of the toughest players I've watched play.
And a great defensive end in football, which explains some of what we're talking about.
Exactly. Randall dribbling a lot, but he's also moving the ball. 45 seconds left to play in the first period. First period brought to you by Scrambled, where breakfast is the way they start the day, the way we start the game. I'll get it right in just a moment.
Yes, there are first quarter sponsors for a reason. Is Scrambled. That's
Scrambled my words.
We want to start the game with Scrambled. Start your day with Scrambled. I went there actually last month with some friends. Had a great time at Scrambled on Sunday morning. Don't worry, we did not miss church, Tracy, by the way.
All right, that's good news.
But you should try it too.
Rogers with the ball on the left wing now, looking inside, passes off to Royal. Man defense by El Reno. Garcia passes back to Rogers. Romanos blocks the three. Rogers gets his own rebound.
And Romanos, he can excel on both ends like you saw there.
Garcia has a block shot. I have not been tracking blocked shots, but El Reno has at least 6 blocked shots already. And they get a bucket by that's not Elizondo. That is number 2, Bradley Island gets the bucket.
Frustrating thing there is you give up transition and give up a layup at the buzzer. That you're going to get your shot blocked sometime by Davis, fine. Get back on defense. Don't let that happen.
After 1 period of play, 11-10, Carl Albert has the lead here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans lead the El Reno Indians 11-10 after 1 period of play. As we begin the second period, ball will be in the hands of Carl Albert. Second period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, located at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings offers buy one, get one wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday.
So Carl Albert's learning what they can and can't shoot against Trey Davis. And that shot, if you can make that, you don't have to worry about Trey Davis very much. Xavier Garcia, boy, he's shooting well.
6 points. He come off the bench, put 6 in, almost half the points for Carl Albert. 3-point lead for the Titans. Roman no skip pass. Goes to Reed. Reed has a lane, headed to the basket, passes to his teammate off the glass for 2. And that is Osborne with the bucket. 1-point ball game.
Osborne didn't have to jump, and he made a good decision for El Reno. He didn't spot up. He just simply, instead of spotting up to shoot, just cut to the basket, and he got wide open.
Garcia going to the hole again, pulls up. Another bucket for Garcia.
That is some unbelievable skill right there. That's an NBA type of play.
Yeah, he's looking like he's got everything flowing for him tonight. Back to a 3-point lead, 15-12 for Carl Albert. Davis working against Royal, picks up his dribble out on the right wing. Pass over the top to Roman Nose. Rogers on D. Rogers doing a good job bodying up Roman Nose, not getting the call there. Osborne drives the baseline, draws the foul.
I think Rogers got called for a hand check, a reach-in foul, and that's his second. Now, he's been playing the whole game going at it with Carter Romanos, but can he stay in the game now with 2 fouls?
Island takes the inbound pass, gives it to Roman Nose. Roman Nose goes up, backside, misses the shot, and Royal gets the rebound.
Well, Rogers really gambled with that defense there. He almost fouled him. If he didn't foul him, it just didn't get called. But he got away. I should say got away with it. He was able to defend without fouling.
Hawkins for three. Shot no good. Royal gets the offensive board. Does he step on the baseline?
Stepped on the baseline. Rogers should have flashed to the corner there. Royal was off balance. He needed a target to throw it to sooner than what he had. But notice that Royal stayed in. This again was something I talked about. I mentioned it briefly with Coach Price. I talked about it briefly, but when we had the jump ball, LeBron Royal is staying in the game because Trey Davis is staying in the game, and Royal is yet to have a foul. That's a big deal.
Roman Nose looking to drive against Rogers, gets into the paint, goes up, shot is good. That was a hard work to get that bucket.
You couldn't defend any better for Brandon Rogers. But again, the senior Carter Romanos, who's had quite a career scoring-wise for El Reno, made the shot that is very difficult.
Garcia, another shot, back iron. Boy, Reynolds got hammered in there. Now Royal with the ball, goes up, lays it off the glass, and one.
Royal found a good driving lane. Davis was behind him, so he could just attack the basket, not worry about it. Now, speaking of fouls in LeBron Royal, he's not committing fouls. That's good. The other thing that Carl Albert needs from him is he needs to make free throws because he's such a physical player. As long as he's in the game, he's going to get to the foul line his fair share. But I'd say he's a shaky free throw shooter right now. We'll see if that can start to change.
So LeBron Royal with the Tuning Buys Houses free throw and a 3-point lead for Carl Albert. Back iron, no good. Davis with the rebound. Davis with 4 boards in the ballgame now. Several blocks as well. Osborne driving. Picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Reed. Austin Johnson and Rex Reynolds in the ballgame for Carl Albert, and a foul called. This time I believe it's on Royal.
Well, 5:22 to go in the second quarter. That's pretty good to wait till in for your first foul. Davis was trying a sweeping hook shot there. And he went right on the catch because I think Austin Johnson or it was Rex Reynolds, I can't tell them apart sometimes, was coming from baseline there.
Trey Davis connects on the Tuning Buys Houses free throw. Back to a 2-point game, 17-15's the score.
So 2 players have not come out yet for Carl Albert. Brandon Rogers, who's matched up with Romanos, and then Royal, who's matched up with Trey Davis. And those 2 players for El Reno, Romanos and Davis, have not come out either. So we've seen these matchups the whole way through.
Davis misses the second free throw. 2-point lead for Carl Albert. A travel call to Garcia. That'll be 4th turnover for Carl Albert in the first half.
Well, that's got to sting because he made the shot, but he won't get credit for it. And I think this is one reason why you want to pay attention to the girls' game. There's a few reasons why. Of course, you want to be loyal to your girls' counterpart teams, but also you want to see how the refs are calling because they're usually the same refs from the varsity girls' game to the varsity boys' game, and these refs are calling travels.
Roman Nose elevates on the 15-foot jumper, no good. Rebound, Rogers. Austin Johnson going to the hole and lays that one off the glass.
Good finish there. He held the ball in front because he knew no one was between him and the basket. He didn't slow down, but he was able to go at a comfortable speed, so no one from El Reno could catch him. That's not as easy as it looks.
Elizondo passes Romanos for 3. That one's long, right into the hands of Johnson. Johnson's got Rogers going the other end, and Rogers lays that one off the glass.
Well, I thought Rogers was going to try to dunk it there, obviously, and he did the safe thing and it worked out for him, so good call.
And on a couple of Roman Nose misses, Carl Albert has extended their lead. A foul's going to be called maybe on Rogers. I'm not sure.
Rogers or Royal. Royal got hit, that's for sure.
It's on Royal.
That's a tough one. I don't know what he did. And he's banged up, so he may have to come out. You know, he's definitely the guy you want on Trey Davis. And not really, they don't have that many other great options there, but we'll see what they do as they're going to bring in
Jackson Webster.
Interesting that Jackson Webster's getting in ahead of some players that you've seen play ahead of him, including Darian Thomas.
Yeah, the question is who's going to be guarding Trey Davis inside. Yeah. Will it be Webster? He's strong. He's 6'1".
He's bulky, that's for sure. But then you also have Austin Johnson or Rex. You could look at Rex Reynolds. Right now, I guess there's some blood.
Yeah, I did not think
or sweat
until I just well, they're spraying the cleaning solution on the floor. The interesting thing is they did not put gloves on.
That's why I think it's sweat. They didn't use gloves. Usually,
not sure why they would use the other solution if it was just sweat, though.
Usually, if it's sweat, you don't use a solution. You're right, but hey, maybe at Carl Albert they just do things differently.
Yeah, Romano's getting 2 free throws, misses the first. So a struggle at the line right now for El Reno. They are 2 for 4 from the free throw line now. 4:15 to play here in the Buffalo Wild Wings second period. Romano's getting a second to Neubei's free throw. And he gets shooter's roll on the second shot.
So Carter Romanos will check out for the first time.
Romanos with 8 points is going to take the bench. Davis staying in the game. Maybe an advantage for El Reno with Royal out.
That's interesting that Royal is out and Romanos goes out. They're not really guarding each other.
Rogers not taking a rest with Romanos out. Rex Reynolds for 3. Shot no good. Jackson gets up in the air, tips the ball away, but it's Island coming up with it.
Good box out for Island. You saw Rex Reynolds shoot that 3 because he's being guarded by Davis. He wants to take Davis outside there as he forces a turnover on the other end.
Elizondo touches the ball before it goes out. 5-point lead for Carl Albert.
One thing interesting for El Reno, Trey Davis is going to have to guard a three-point shooter. That's Royal's not a three-point shooter, but everyone else in here might be. I don't know about Webster, though, but he's guarding Reynolds right now, so he has to stay a little bit attached to Reynolds. Wow, Webster with a finish. I was about to say he should have been looking for Rex Reynolds on the other side there. It was wide open, but forget what I said. He made a good finish there, and he's the one guarding Davis.
I was expecting Davis to block that shot
when
Webster went up for it, and he made a nice move, scored the bucket. 7-point lead for Carl Albert now. Hayden, left wing. Passes
3
off.
seconds, I think, or no, timeout.
Jacob Nichols was out top. He's checked into the game for El Reno. We have a timeout on the court. 23-16 is the score. Carl Albert leading El Reno here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School where the Carl Albert Titans lead the El Reno Indians 23-16 with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in the Buffalo Wild Wings second period. It is El Reno basketball. Nichols inbounds, and he gets the pass back, misses the 3. Reynolds with the rebound for Carl Albert.
You know, El Reno boys, like their girls, obviously a really good team, but they have not been shooting threes this game very well.
And a 3 by Reynolds, no good. A rebound by Osborne.
Carl Albert hasn't been great either, but at least they made some.
One make from beyond the arc for El Reno in the ballgame. And only one from beyond the arc for Carl Albert. So
it was counted there in my head.
Johnson looking for his teammate, throws the ball into the stands, almost hits the cameraman right in the face.
Well, which teammate, though? I'm not sure. He split Reynolds and Rogers there. It was interesting. Coach Hayden for El Reno, obviously he's a really good coach, also their AD. He calls 2 timeouts this half. What's unusual is they're both full timeouts. Usually when coaches take timeouts, their timeouts are 30-second timeouts at first.
Davis passes to Osborne. Osborne makes the bucket.
They're running something really good on offense there. Again, if you go to Davis, inside. You know there's going to be cutting action available to you because Carl Albert has to give Davis a lot of attention.
Rogers just passes off to Webster out top. And Johnson for three. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Romanos.
Nice no look.
Davis with the dunk on the other end.
Well, we've seen Carl Albert with a couple of breakdowns in transition defense.
Now a three-point game, 23-20, Carl Albert on top. 1:42 left in the Buffalo Wild Wings second period. Reynolds looking inside. Garcia back to Johnson. Johnson at the elbow, blocked from behind. Reed on the fast break. Webster with the block. Davis with another dunk.
Again, you got to recover better. When you see El Reno blocks a shot, gets it, you just got to sprint back. But El Reno's got some momentum now because they're scoring in transition.
And Austin Johnson misses the three. Rebound, Osborne.
I don't get that shot. I don't know why he would shoot that. That's
pushed a
not
little quickly.
Yeah.
Now Davis working against Webster. And an offensive foul called on Davis. It was a late call.
It was a late call. You know, you got to be, and it's only Davis's first, it looks like. So
it is.
Not too big of a deal as far as that goes. And not many fouls called either on either team, so that's not a big deal. But still, if you're a post player, you hate it when that happens because you feel like Jackson Webster flopped. I'm not saying he did, but that's how you feel like if you're El Reno and Davis.
Well, I thought Davis put a strong shoulder right into his chest and took him to the floor. So Rogers for three. That was no good. Osborne with another rebound.
Just gone cold is Carl Albert.
It's still the 1 point lead, even though they're cold. 28 seconds on the clock. Rogers tips it out of bounds. El Reno ball side out.
So now Carl Albert's bringing in, is that Royal wearing 33?
Might be. Had blood on his uniform, so they had to change uniforms.
We don't have a 33 for Carl Albert, so he's got two fouls. He's playing right now. This is real important. He avoids a third. These final 15 seconds.
Romanos with the ball. Rogers on D. Davis coming out to set a screen. Romanos goes off screen, cuts back, pulls up for the three. Boom, he hits it. Bobby Lewis ensures three, and that gives the Indians the lead. The fans calling for an and one on the three. I didn't see it myself. But
well, it was in Rogers' face, so there may have been some contact. I didn't think it was that obvious, but the Reno fans are going to be different.
25-23 the score. El Reno leading Carl Albert at halftime. I saw the official look up at the fan that was calling for the N1 and kind of sneer at him, so he gave him a response, if you will. Carter Romanos drains three right before the buzzer to give El Reno the lead at halftime here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans now trail the El Reno Indians 25-23. They had the lead, actually a 7-point lead at one point in the second period, and a little pressure down low. Trey Davis throwing in a couple of dunks, and Carter Romanose hitting a three right before the half. It gives El Reno the 2-point lead. Leading scorer for El Reno, Carter Romanose with 11 points. Trey Davis with 8. Gabe Osborne throwing in 4 as well. For your Carl Albert Titans, Xavier Garcia has 8 points. LeBron Royal has 6. And then we have 3 points for Jordan Hawkins, 2 for Austin Johnson, and 2 for Brandon Rogers, 2 for Jackson Webster. As I look at some of the statistics, rebounding fairly even, 12 rebounds for El Reno, 11 rebounds for Carl Albert. El Reno is 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Carl Albert's only 2 free throws come from LeBron Royal, and they did not connect on either one of those two. Field goal percentage, 53% from the field for El Reno, shooting 10 for 19. Carl Albert shooting not too bad, 46%, 11 for 24. But the big change comes beyond the arc. El Reno's 2 for 4, 50% from beyond the arc. Carl Albert is 1 for 9, shooting only 11% from three-point range in the first half.
Yeah, I got real bad in the second quarter, too. They were airballing threes and were very flat on those shots.
Just everything was rushed late in the second quarter offensively for Carl Albert.
They hit their very first three, I believe, with Jordan Randall, and he's probably their most consistent three-point shooter, so they need to find a way to get him open looks. But they also just need to find ways to run consistently good offense where they're getting their ball, their shooters in the right spots, the right times. It's been a struggle all season for them, and that's when they've lost. They had a 4-game losing streak earlier this year. It's mostly because they just have scoring issues. They don't have that one consistent go-to player. That was Xavier Garcia for a bit, and he kind of cooled down or kind of disappeared a bit. He needs to get going again. Somebody does for Carl Albert. Needs to score with some consistency.
Well, Garcia come off the bench playing lights out and scored 8 points very quickly for Carl Albert, and as you said, kind of cooled down a little bit after that. That only 3, as you said, come from Jordan Hawkins. 2-point lead for El Reno. El Reno has the ball as we begin the Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period. The Newby Agency is your local Oklahoma Farmers Insurance agency in Midwest City. Their agency is family-owned and operated, has been serving the public for over 40 years. Their office is located off of 29th and Air Depot near Tinker Air Force Base. Come by and see them at 560 West Boeing Drive, Suite A, or give them a call at 405-733-7671. And as I was telling you about Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance, Trey Davis throws down his third dunk of the game.
Yeah, I think you see Hawkins shoot a mid-range shot way off, not really his shot. LeBron Royal left Davis to double team in the paint like that. I don't think he should do that. He should stay with Davis.
Roman Nose thought about a 3. Trey Davis will shoot one in and out. Hawkins gets the rebound. Randall on the left wing. Hayden on D. Randall gets around. Well, Hayden quickly gets back on D. Royal puts up a little hook shot over Davis. Shot no good. Davis gets the rebound.
Yeah, he rushed it because, again, you respect Davis's height, so that caused you to kind of rush those shots.
A 3 and another dunk by Davis. Taking over the game on dunks right now. 29-23 the score, 6.5 minutes left to play in the third period.
Now Royal went to contest the 3. No one was boxing out Davis. Wow, this is a 13-0 run for El Reno, dating back to the second quarter.
Oh, pretty impressive. At one point it was 23-16. Rogers has a shot blocked, and then Rogers is the one who finally picks up the loose ball. Hawkins puts up floater, draws the foul, and it should be Davis called for the foul.
Rogers has to realize, you gotta be comfortable against a big man like Davis shooting a floater, pulling up. You don't have to take it all the way right to him. And then, of course, Jordan Hawkins did the same thing, and he got kind of fortunate there. Second foul on Davis.
Jordan Hawkins getting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. He connects on the first, so that's the first made free throw in the game for the Carl Albert Titans. Toonie buys houses in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to buy a house, needs to sell a house for any reason, call Toonie buys houses today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Hawkins makes both free throws, cuts the lead to 4. El Reno gets the ball down the court very quickly. Romano's in the corner. Now Davis going against defense of Royal, and a turnover for El Reno.
The coach's kid made an uncharacteristic mistake.
Randall in the front court, screen set, floater in the paint, no good, and a foul called. The foul going against Elizondo, his second personal foul.
And Randall just picked a good time, found the opening and attacked.
Randall shooting the Toonie buys houses free throws. 4-point lead for El Reno. Randall in and out on the free throw.
Yeah, those free throws Randall made earlier, those are the first obviously made free throws for Carl Albert. And they have to be, in a game like this, they have to be close to perfect from the free throw line. But right now they're about 50% for the game.
Now 3 for 6, exactly 50%. Romanos picks up his dribble, 10-foot jumper, shot no good. Long rebound, Elizondo picks it up, shoots the 3, back iron, and Hawkins gets the rebound. Three by Rogers, no good. Elizondo with another board.
Good look, and Elizondo, one-man wrecking crew there. Someone's got to pick him up and try to get in front of him sooner than that, but Reno's one of those teams that if you give them transition opportunities, they'll take it. That's been one of their keys to their lead.
Brandon Rogers just picked up his third personal foul with 5:15 left to play in the third period. Puts Alex Elizondo at the line shooting the Toonie buys houses free throws.
Yeah, Rogers had to be a little frustrated. He missed that three-point attempt earlier. He's going to come out now. So we'll see someone else matched up with Carter Romanos. It was a great pass from LeBron Royal right to the upper chest of Rogers where you want that as a shooter. And he just couldn't get it to go.
Garcia checks back into the game for Carl Albert. Elizondo hits both of the Toonie buys houses free throws. Elijah Matthews, quiet after he had to take a seat with fouls in the first half. Back in the ball game, running point. Now Garcia in the paint, splits defenders, Romanos with the block. And now a loose ball picked up by Reed. Romanos is going to slam another one home.
And Romanos got the block because Garcia, he went right. He never got the separation he needed. So at that point, finish with your left, get the ball back out.
Now Garcia for the baseline hits the 10-foot jumper.
There he had separation. You see El Reno's really trying to run here.
Back to a 5-point game.
They've been pushing tempo a lot.
Well, Davis got a big push off on Royal there. No call. He gets the bucket.
Yeah, but Carl Albert has to have a helper there on the backside.
Now Randall on the right wing. Osborne on defense. Randall driving, takes the baseline. Pass inside. Hawkins off the glass. Foul called. Hawkins going to the line to shoot 2. Toonie buys houses free throws. Reed picks up his second personal foul.
That's why you want to try, even if you're right-handed, you want to try to finish with your left hand when you cut to the left side like that, because you got someone like Davis who can come in and block your shot. And so it was a good effort at using his left hand for Hawkins, who's a right-handed player, and he gets to the free throw line.
Hawkins hits the free throw. He's 3 for 3 from the line now. Has 6 points in the ball game. 4:11 left to play in the Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period. Hawkins hits both of the Toonie buys houses free throws, cuts the lead back to 5 again. Romanos to Davis, right back to Romanos for 3. It's short. Rebound Hawkins, ball stolen away by Osborne.
Hawkins got to chin that ball. Don't just hold it low and expose like that.
And now Randall with the rebound off of El Reno miss. Pushes the ball up the court. Hawkins for 3. Shot no good. Garcia with an offensive board, back up. And Osborne with another rebound.
That's a good spot to use the backboard, but not enough players do that. Garcia should use the backboard on that.
Romanos, another short shot. Matthews with the rebound. And Randall goes up, scores the bucket on the other end.
Good finish there. I think he had Jonathan Reed closing in on him.
Now Osborne working his way around, and Matthews is going to pick up his third personal foul.
Well, Matthews has not really done much on offense, so he has 3.
He's really struggled offensively in the ballgame.
But I don't know if with his current rate of aggression, I don't know if you really lose much when you bring in Rex Reynolds for Elijah Matthews.
Inbound pass, Romanos, and it goes out of bounds.
He ran a good play. He set a pick, and I think it was for Davis, and they gave him a lot of attention, and that allowed him to slip wide open. But the pass was a little low, and Romanos just didn't catch it. But that was a break for Carl Albert there.
Yeah, pass was at his feet. It was not just a little bit low. Randall at the top of the key, pulls up. Osborne reaching in. Reynolds sets a screen. Randall goes off screen, goes right. Hawkins for 3, left wing, in and out. Rebound Romanos.
Even when he misses, Hawkins' threes are online, so you want him to keep shooting.
Now Reed dribbling around defender. Shot blocked by Hawkins. Reed gets the loose ball, and it's going out of bounds on a pass to Davis.
2 opportunities for easy shots just because the passes are too low. So Reno's had struggles, Carl had their struggles, and it's still a very close game. Reno, again, they haven't lost in district play, so they like to say they went undefeated in 5A District 1, even though they already got the district title lined up. And what a shot there, Garcia.
Garcia makes an aggressive move, puts in the floater.
Yeah, he still has the shot making going on right now, even though he's cooled off a bit.
He is 6 for 8 from the field. That's pretty good. Reynolds got a hand on the ball, but Davis comes up with it. And El Reno still running their offense. A 1-point game. Davis goes up, shot over Royal, and Austin Johnson gets a rebound, foul call on El Reno.
See, that's when you are posting up against a guy who's really strong like LeBron Royal, it makes it so hard to get into rhythm. So even though when you go up and elevate to shoot, you're using so much energy banging against that strong player that hook shot you go up with is still kind of uncomfortable, and that's what happened there with Davis missing that shot.
Third personal foul on Alex Elizondo, 4th team foul on El Reno. Reynolds thought about 3 at the top of the key, hands off to Garcia. Ooh, Garcia's pass to Royal almost goes through his hands. And spin move, probably a travel, and Romanos comes out of there with the ball. Ball tipped out. Hawkins and Johnson, and it's Johnson coming up with it for Carl Albert.
El Reno's just had trouble finishing around the basket right now. We'll see if the Titans can take advantage.
Johnson passed to Garcia, and a quick foul call on Romanos. That'll be his 2nd personal.
But a bad foul because that's the 5th on El Reno. So that's going to be free throws for Xavier Garcia. And Carl Albert has come back after being down by 6 earlier this quarter, in part by getting to the free throw line.
So it was a 13-point run for El Reno, and now Carl Albert's putting together a little bit of a run of their own.
They have a chance to take the lead here. The end of the quarters have not been good for Carl Albert. El Reno scored late in both the first and second quarter. So we're 1:09 to go in the third.
Garcia ties it up.
We'll see if who has a situation to hold for the last shot, and can they execute real well.
The free throw here would give Carl Albert their first lead of the second half, and Garcia connects on the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, both of them a 1-point lead for Carl Albert. Romanos looking inside, nothing there.
So let's say Garcia guarding Romanos.
Reaching in foul on Garcia. Nope.
Hawkins.
On Hawkins.
Only his first, 13 foul, not a big deal there. Still have a foul to give. You'd like to have that foul to give, when you get real late in the quarter, like in the last 20 seconds.
Roman nose defended by Garcia. Nichols looks inside to Davis. Davis working against Royal, goes up, misses the shot, rebound Osborne, and puts it back in for 2.
Yeah, they overloaded on Davis, did Carl Albert, so that left the backside open.
Well, Royal's done a good job defending Davis.
Yep.
All that damage was done when Royal was out of the game. Now Austin Johnson for 3, top of the key, and a foul on the three-pointer. That foul going against Osborne.
I have to say, I've seen Austin Johnson play a few games now. He's taken some really tough shots this game, tougher than usual, and that was one of them, but he ended up getting fouled, so it worked out great in this case.
Yeah, I questioned the shot when I saw him take it. The foul was a late foul and a late call on it as well.
Well, it was late because it was on the follow-through, really.
Tunibi's House's free throw. Johnson misses the first, hits the second. One more free throw coming. Tunibi's Houses in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call Tunibi's Houses today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Rex Reynolds takes a seat. And checking in the game is Darian Thomas.
Well, they keep Royal in. Royal has got to not foul.
Johnson hits 2 of the 3 free throws.
I'm surprised they're keeping Royal in because you think on defense when it's late in the quarter, who's in foul trouble? I need to take him out.
9 free throws made by Carl Albert in this second half, in this third period. Romanos goes to the hole and slams it home. The instant replay brought to you by Super Subs. Super Subs has chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe, buffalo, or barbecue chicken. And great defense at the buzzer. El Reno had to be really careful, though, and get a technical as they were stepping over players and kind of a little bit of aggressiveness there at the end of the period.
Well, Coach Price has to be careful, too, but the ref's going to let him give some words in.
39-38, a 1-point lead for El Reno after 3 periods of play here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School where the El Reno Indians have a 1-point lead over the Carl Albert Titans, 39-38. We had a couple of lead changes in that third period after El Reno had opened up a 7-point lead at one point. Carl Albert came back, took the lead. El Reno now up by 1. Fourth period brought to you by Louis in Midwest City, located at 6007 Southeast 15th Street. Louis, we're in your neighborhood. And I encourage you, if you like fish tacos, ask for the fish tacos at Louis, folks. I love them.
I still can't believe I ran into you last Monday at Louis. Total accident there.
Absolutely. And little shove on Hawkins there as he went up for the shot. Reed acting like, I didn't know I fouled him, but he clearly shoved him in the back. Reed's third personal foul, and
now, Hawkins has had a good second half because he's gotten to the free throw line. He hasn't been able to get open too often from three-point range, but he's gotten to the free throw line, and that has been a big deal. What also has been a big deal is El Reno's had a good, last-second possession in all 3 quarters. You got the Romanos dunk. I think you had a Davis dunk or someone.
Well, you had a Romanos 3 at the end of the half.
Second quarter, yeah. There was one at the end of the first quarter. I forgot who got it, but it was in transition off a missed free throw.
So we're tied up 39-39. And a quick foul called on Austin Johnson. That's his first of the game.
Well, I didn't see it. Obviously, it was off the ball, but early in the quarter, you don't have any fouls. Not a horrible foul, but you don't want to get into that bonus too soon or the penalty too soon, but see if it's a big deal.
Well, Jordan Hawkins connected on one of the two Nearby's Houses free throws. Romanos pulls up from, wow, that's a long two with a high arcing shot. Connects on that one. Royal goes up. How does he make it? How does he make it? The Super Subs instant replay with the Chicken Phillies.
A big steal there by Rogers because Royal was trailing the play on Davis, was going to get wide open potentially.
And now Royal has the ball just taken away by Romanos. Nichols headed down the court, and an offensive foul called. Rogers draws it. Might have been leaning a bit on that one.
We caught the tail end of it, but let's say Rogers was not too far into the basket. Some more Super Sub instant replays for you. Of course, this is how it is with at Carl Albert when we call games. Is we're going to be close to the road fans, and Reno has a lively bunch, and they've been into it since the girls' JV game.
41-41 is the score.
Nice steal.
Johnson goes up and scores the bucket, and he gets teed up. He bowed up, faced down the player after he made that bucket. Couple of mistakes by Austin Johnson here late in the game after making the bucket.
And it's Kason Hayden who he's matched up with. He's got a clear size advantage, so it was a good play for Carl Albert. Seal your guy. But obviously there was some other stuff going on with Johnson when he got the first foul. He's definitely getting in quite the battle with Kason Hayden, and he just took it a bit too far. So it's going to be a chance for two free throws for El Reno and the ball.
Romanos hits the first of the Nearby's Houses free throws.
Carter Romanos has been making plays.
And he misses the second.
And as I say that, wow, we're calling a full timeout, so they're only going to have a couple left. I think they're going to both be 30-second timeouts.
So a full timeout here, 43-42. Carl Albert has the 1 point lead on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Carl Albert High School. The Carl Albert Titans lead the El Reno Indians by 1 point, 43-42. Carl Albert looking to give El Reno their first loss in district play in the final district game. El Reno has secured the district championship already. Carl Albert is the district runner-up. 6:25 left to play here in the Louis fourth period. A miss by El Reno and a rebound by Jordan Hawkins. Now
Reynolds' pass is just too low. If you're going to try that, you got to put some juice on it. But a good steal by him.
Rex Reynolds gives the ball to Garcia, blocked by Romanos.
You got to finish with your left hand there. But Romanos playing such a good all-around game for El Reno.
Reed, little push off on Hawkins. Hawkins with the rebound.
Well, no one else for El Reno is really shooting well besides their big two, Romanos and Davis. Well, I was going to say about Romanos before that timeout, he's making a lot of plays. He doesn't really taunt anybody. He's taking it to Brandon Rogers right now. Is it Garcia with a big three?
Garcia with the Bobby Lewis Insurance three. Surprisingly great rates in two locations to serve you. Call them in Choctaw at 405-281-6700.
Well, I was going to say, Romanos is not he's not really talking much trash or doing anything like that. At least we don't notice it. He's scoring, and he's not making a big deal of it.
Davis for three. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance three for Trey Davis.
Well, it's unbelievable. He's such a good player inside, but he has hit 2 threes this game.
Now Carl Albert sets up their offense. Garcia left wing, passes back off. Garcia and Reynolds playing catch. Garcia pulls up from the right elbow. Boom, he drains it. Garcia's had a phenomenal game.
He was our player of the game against Elgin. He's really taken kindly to not starting because he was starting earlier this season.
He has 11 in the second half after having 8 in the first. 19 points for Garcia. Davis misses the three, gets his own rebound and slams it in.
Well, Royal has done a good job for the most part on Davis, but he didn't box out there. That's on Royal for not boxing out the shooter. He normally doesn't guard three-point shooters, but even when you are, you got to box them out.
Well, these two teams just trading buckets right now. Hawkins drives in and scores the bucket.
It's pretty amazing if you think about it. These teams had stretches where they're really cold on offense, both teams, and then when they start scoring, they score in bunches, and now it's been quite the back-and-forth battle.
Well, Carl Albert with the advantage, the three-point lead right now. Davis goes up, hook shot no good. Osborne gets a rebound and foul's called.
As I said earlier, it was Hayden who may have been getting into it with Austin Johnson. Actually, it may have been Osborne, not Hayden. And not getting that rebound leads to 4 fouls on Brandon Rogers. How much longer can he guard Carter Romanos with that? He's not coming out right now.
3 team fouls. Romanos working against Rogers. Rogers gets the block and the rebound.
Wow, he held his ground, and he's got 4 fouls, so it's going to be an adventure for him.
Garcia gets the bucket and the foul on the other end.
Starting to see some offensive players make plays for Carl Albert, mainly Garcia, but Hawkins has been doing it too.
Osborne called for his third personal.
And they're not waiting around either. That was a quick shot attempt after the miss.
21 points now for Garcia. Make it in and out. 21 for Garcia as he misses.
That's
a
unique announcer's jinx right there.
Absolutely. Man, I messed up on that one, didn't I? Romanos on the right wing. Rogers on D again. Romanos for 3. Long. Garcia with the rebound. Garcia pulls up 10 foot. It's short. Davis with the rebound.
Well, Garcia's got to get back. No transition for El Reno there, but they had numbers at one point.
Osborne drives to the baseline, kicks the ball back out to Reed. Now Reed driving with Hawkins on D, goes right to the hole and scores.
He got Hawkins on his hip and finished with his right hand in a spot where, again, I normally say you should try to finish with your left, but he was able to convert there, used his body real well.
That's the first points of the ball game for Jonathan Reed, a starter for El Reno. 2:44 to play. It's a 3-point lead for Carl Albert. Garcia out top. Romanos on D. Now Rogers defended by Elizondo. Hawkins looking inside. Rex Riddle bounces out, sets a screen. Royal going to the hole. Gives a head fake and travels.
Again, you're so worried about Davis's size that sometimes your other fundamentals can break down.
Jackson Webster checks back in the ballgame. Brandon Rogers will take a seat with those 4 fouls, get a little breather, and Darian Thompson is Darian Thompson checking in the game now as well. Thomas.
Well, we didn't see much of Thomas till second half. I don't think we saw any of him. And Jackson Webster is playing more than we've seen him in the past in close games. But I think Coach Price really likes what they give him on defense. You see right there.
Had good position, caused that turnover. Darian Thomas with the ball, headed to the hole, and that was an ugly fall. He's going to bounce back up and get to his feet. Did not like the way his knees went when he went down, though.
Tell you who else didn't like it. Mike Dunn, the Carl Albert head football coach, because he's going to be playing Darian Thomas at linebacker next fall. But Thomas is okay.
Reed called for his fourth personal foul. Darian Thomas at the free throw line shooting the Toonie Weishausen's free throws.
Now can this defensive group, this is a defensive lineup right now for Carl Albert, can they make free throws? Can they make shots?
Thomas misses the first, hits the second. And it's a 4-point lead for Carl Albert with 2 minutes to play. This is the Louis' fourth period. Webster picks up a foul. That's the last foul to give in the ball game.
Yeah, call the hand check. I think Webster he's fast. You could tell watching him in baseball. He was a courtesy runner there and one of the wide receivers actually in football. They had a tough assignment trying to move his feet against Carter Romanos, who's such a skilled player.
Trey Davis for three, top of the key, shot no good. Romanos with the rebound, turnaround jumper, no good. Ball out of bounds, and it's going to stay with El Reno.
Well, Romanos has had some good shots. We're going to have a timeout by Carl Albert. And he started to cool off a bit, I think, because he's played almost the entire game. He's got to be a little tired.
Yeah, he's missed his last 3 attempts. Now, I did pick up an offensive board there. 53-49 the score with less than 2 minutes to play in this ball game. Carl Albert has the lead over El Reno. This would be a big win for the Titans here to go ahead and get this comeback after losing to El Reno back on January 28th. The score in that one was 71-66, a 5-point game.
Yeah, really they played two of their better games as far as when you think about games against quality competition. Carl Albert's had some rough games against – Crossings was a solid game even though they lost. That was Thursday. But, losing to Lawton MacArthur here when you only score 39 points. And they had 2 losses in the Titan Classic, particularly to Norman, where they just were not in it at all. And so this is the type of performance that, they show they could play with anyone in 5A. And we'll see if that leads to, some confidence needed for some of these players like Xavier Garcia when you get to these tough playoff games.
3 by Reed. Shot no good. Rebound by Royal. And Romanos gets in and grabs a hold of it. Royal trying to spin away from Davis, and Romanos so quick.
Well, Royal's got to chin it. He really didn't chin it. He just held it close to his body and had nowhere to go with it. So smart on El Reno to try to get that, and they got the jump ball out, another possession.
Hayden for 3, shot no good. Rebound, Romanos, and he gets the putback.
So it should be a 30 for El Reno because I don't think they got a full, or do they? Yeah, it's a 30. Coach Hayden, he's willing to go, 80 seconds to go, and I've only 1 timeout. He should be down to 1 here. We haven't seen a change on the scoreboard yet, but I think we're about to. We'll see.
Still 3 timeouts left for Coach Price and the Carl Albert Titans.
I think Carl Albert was going zone there, and they just didn't. They just didn't really do a good job getting a body on each El Reno player, and that's how Carter Romanos got that open shot, as he just scores in a variety of ways. And that was a big possession for El Reno to stay in this thing. The district is not on the line here. If Carl Albert had just beaten Lawton MacArthur, it would be, but Carl Albert would have to win by, I think, 6 or 7 points. So
6.
It would have been an interesting strategy here. It would have been interesting to see what the strategy would be. But as it is, these coaches are still going for the win. It doesn't matter that El Reno has clinched the 1 seed and Carl Albert has clinched the 2 seed.
Now, this is the final regular season game for Carl Albert. El Reno does have a game left.
Mustang.
They play Mustang. Scheduled for Thursday. Weather could impact that game.
Weather permitting. It's not an essential game, so if there's any doubt, they may cancel that, although Reno and Mustang obviously kind of close to each other proximity-wise.
Rex Reynolds takes a disc from Brandon Rogers. Great look from Rogers, and extends the lead back to 4 for Carl Albert. That's Reynolds' first bucket of the ball game.
Good call at the timeout there by Coach Price.
Loose ball scramble. Elizondo comes up with it. And now Romanos from the corner. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 for Carter Romanos. It's a 1-point ball game, 55-54.
And El Reno and Carl Albert not getting the loose ball on defense. They have not been able to get the big stop yet.
Rogers with the ball on the left wing. We're down to 30 seconds to play in the ball game. Elizondo on D. Rogers picks up his dribble, gives it to Royal.
They're calling for a foul. They should foul Royal. Reno should foul Royal. I don't know why they even waited. As soon as Royal caught it, you don't hesitate. Davis is not in foul trouble. It's only his third. Under 30 seconds to go. That's not a big deal.
LeBron Royal going to line to shoot the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. He is 0 for 2 from the free throw line in the ball game. These are big free throws for LeBron Royal. 24 seconds left to play, a 1-point lead for Carl Albert.
Yeah, if you're Carl Albert, you really want anyone else to have the ball, any of those other four than Royal. But he makes the first, so he's starting to prove me wrong here. Can he make both, though?
Jackson Webster checks into the ball game for Rex Reynolds.
Webster, a sophomore, he's had a good game. He's not the most skilled player for his height, but he does bring a lot of athleticism and a lot of effort.
Royal misses the second free throw.
Should be a lane violation on Royal. He crossed the line before the ball hit the rim.
He knew he had missed it.
Yeah, and and I don't know if any other player would have, done any better at the free throw line, make both. But
that lane violation may have actually saved Carl Albert a foul, because I think they were about ready to call a foul on Jackson Webster on the rebound.
It may have prevented a transition opportunity, too, for the Indians.
Romano's out top. Davis in the paint, goes up.
What
Jackson Webster gets the block. Oh, my goodness, on the big man, Trey Davis. Jordan Hawkins gets fouled. And
unbelievable. I guess Coach Price knew what he was doing by bringing in Webster on defense. He's shorter than even Royal, but he can defend the paint.
The foul is called on Hayden. That's his first personal foul.
And Hayden wants was asking the ref about something there. I think he didn't want that foul, but I don't know why. They were at 5.5 seconds. They had to foul, so it may have been something else.
It may be questioning the play under the basket for his coach, but I don't know. Coach Hayden's not happy about that.
And Coach Price.
And there's the tee on Coach Hayden.
Coach Price was also getting into it with, maybe not Coach Hayden, but somebody. I think Coach Hayden obviously thought Davis was fouled. I'm guessing that's what it is. So now Carl Albert would have a chance to go up by 6. If it wasn't for that pesky Lon MacArthur loss, I don't know if that would have affected Coach Hayden's decision here to give the refs an earful.
Oh, I think it would definitely have played into it if he didn't have the district championship locked up already. So
yeah, but it's just amazing to watch that you don't think too much about the fact that the seedings are already clinched and resting players like you might if it was the NBA. You still care greatly about this game.
Jordan Hawkins shooting the free throws. The Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Connects on the first. It's now a 3-point lead with 5.5 seconds left. Hawkins connects on the second free throw as well. And is Hawkins going to be the shooter for the...
Well, I think he was the technical.
Those were the technical foul
and he
shots.
Was the guy that got fouled. This game is pretty much in the bag now, even though he missed that free throw, because it's going to be Carl Albert basketball. That's what made that technical, basically. That technical led to this game being iced, because it's not only 2 more free throws for Carl Albert, they're going to get the ball. So I'm going to go head down to talk to Coach Price.
Hawkins connects on 3 of the 4 free throws. 59-54, the 5-point lead for Carl Albert, and we have a full timeout called on the floor. With Carl Albert leading by 5, we'll take a timeout as well on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans now a 5-point lead with 5.5 seconds left to play in the Louis fourth period. Brandon Rogers to inbound the ball for Carl Albert, gives it to Rex Reynolds, and that will, a quick foul with 1.6 seconds left is going to put Rex Reynolds at the line shooting 2 free throws. So it looks like Carl Albert will win this game, give El Reno their first loss in district play. But El Reno still the district champions, and Carl Albert still the runner-up in district play. Carl Albert with 2 losses in district play, and this will be the first for El Reno. Free throw gives Carl Albert a 6-point lead, and the second free throw would make it 7. Tooney buys houses free throw. And Reynolds hits both of them. 61-54, 7-point lead for Carl Albert with 1.6 seconds left to play. Davis will inbound the ball, gives it to Reed, and Reed's going to throw it from 3-quarter court, and it comes close to going in, but does not. 61-54, the final. The Carl Albert Titans defeat the El Reno Indians here tonight. The Carl Albert Lady Titans also got the win tonight, 54-38. So 2 wins for Carl Albert in their final game of the season here tonight before they go into the playoffs starting next week. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the game. Jordan Ray is down on the court. He'll be talking to Coach Jay Price and your players of the game in just a moment. The player of the game brought to you by Triple Elite Screen Printing. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite Screen Printing. Joining Jordan Ray at midcourt is Jordan Hawkins, and I believe we might see Xavier Garcia as well joining Jordan. And so, Jordan, we'll go ahead and turn the mic over to you.
All right, Coach Price, I think it's great that, there's no seeding at stake, and yet you guys cared so much about this game. Both teams did. What would it take to pull it out?
Well, just, we talked about this at halftime. The basketball is a game of runs, and they had one to start the game, and then we had one to come back and take the lead, and they had another run to get back at halftime. And the second half was just kind of back and forth, and it just – I looked in their eyes during the timeout. I said, fellas, we got to learn how to win a game late like this and against a really good team. And we made some great defensive plays. We hit some big shots. And that was the medicine tonight for us to be able to figure it out. And these 2 guys played great, shot it well. X did a great job coming off the bench, lighting us up, getting us some energy going and making some big plays for us. And, we just were able to finish it off the way we needed to.
And you also finished the game or played a lot of key minutes for Jackson Webster, Darian Thomas. Talk about that. And I think it was about defense, but talk about what the contributions they gave you.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a lot of depth, and we always have, and we talked to them, guys hanging with us. You may not play one night, you may not play very much, but another night you may play a ton of minutes because of what's, that is necessary in that game. And, we always know we have those guys. They'll come off the bench playing full speed as hard as they can, and they did. Webb made a great play on that alley-oop to tip the ball away and get a steal, and just stuff like that these guys have locked in, and they're willing to make those plays and play those roles for us, which you need at any time during the playoffs. We're going to need them, so it was nice.
I bet you got to feel better now about your team than before tonight, about heading into the playoffs.
For sure, we needed a signature win against a good team. And we've talked about it, and tonight was a big one. And so hopefully they've gained some confidence from this and know that we're capable of beating, we feel like, just anybody if we play right, play well the right night and do things the right way. That's what we're hoping to do.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, X, our player of the game again. He was against Elgin. He is again, X, coming off the bench. Right away, you're hitting shots. How do you make that work, coming off the bench and be able to heat up pretty quickly?
Really just like having the mindset to go kill when coming off the bench, because if I'm not a starter, I have to have the energy to come out and just go hoop, really. And just so I just came off coming hot and then just kept going. It was just repetitive.
What made this game so important to you? Giving El Reno their only district loss, even though the seeding isn't at stake here.
Probably what Coach says, but we needed a signature win. And so that was the game we wanted to win, and we needed to win too. So, and that just really just helps us out too, because that's all we wanted was a good win against a good team.
All right, so you're not going to play probably until Thursday. What's going to be important for you guys heading into the playoffs?
Coming into the playoffs with energy, for sure. Coming out with energy and just having to go the mindset to go win a game.
I should say next Thursday, not this Thursday. All right. Thank you, X. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Protection.
All right, Jordan Randall here. Jordan, I thought it was real important for your team that you guys start getting to the free throw line in the second half. Well, how would you say, how did you make that happen?
In practice, we shoot 50 free throws before we leave. We just want to get it into our routine, just want to knock them down because those are what wins games.
And you have a lot of confidence in your shot, too, and you seem very efficient out there in the games we have covered for you. How would you say you've developed as a three-point shooter?
It's all about confidence. You just got to know. You got to shoot it with confidence. You got to know that it's going in.
What did it mean to pull out this win?
It meant a lot. We wanted to get a close game win before we went into playoffs, so we knew we could do it, and that's exactly what we did tonight.
All right, congratulations, Jordan. All right, Tracy, when I come back up, we'll talk about Carl Albert's regional here in a bit.
Once again, we've got the Carl Albert Titans coming from behind to win 61-54 over the El Reno Indians, giving El Reno their first loss of district play on the season, only a second loss of the season. Big win for Carl Albert tonight. The girls won as well as they defeated the El Reno Indians and locked up the district championship for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Of course, as I said, it was the El Reno Indians winning the district championship for the boys. And Jordan is back up here with us, and so we're going to talk about what's coming up with regional tournament play starting next week.
Yeah, so we'll just focus on Carl Albert. Both the girls and boys teams are hosting. So is Del City. Midwest City will be coming here on the girls' side. They're going to go to Reno for the boys' side. We still have to have those games covered. And I can't forget that I'm always a little short of breath when I come up here after interviewing them, even though I don't have to go up too many steps. So I probably need to work out some more. And I will. But taking a real quick look at the district standings in boys, here's how it will work for Carl Albert. So they should be hosting Duncan, which in their first game, which is who they played 2 years ago in their first round game. And that, by the way, the first round is back to being an elimination game. Also coming over will be John Marshall and I believe Noble. So Noble is actually coming here for both boys and girls, and that should be the matchup also. John Marshall and Noble. Obviously, John Marshall looks like the team that would be favored to win if you had to pick a favorite to play Carl Albert. If Carl Albert, assuming they win against Duncan, which again I like their chances too. So the most likely outcome would be a Carl Albert versus John Marshall regional championship on a Friday evening. Not this Friday, but the next Friday. That will be a good matchup. John Marshall's having a really good year. They beat Midwest City twice.
Be a fun game.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun game, and we'll definitely have it. Now, who will go where as far as the broadcast crew, we'll see, but that's definitely a game we're looking forward to if that matchup takes place. So that's who Carl has to go through to win another regional championship, which they've done the last several years. And that's, of course, what you want to do. That puts you in the best position to get to state.
No, Jordan, you study this 5A district. You know it extremely well. So when we're talking about Carl Albert tonight, we're here. This is the Carl Albert network that we're playing on for the Oklahoma Sports Network, the Carl Albert channel. But our other Mid-Del schools, Del City and the Midwest City boys, how are they looking going into the regional tournament?
Well, Midwest City's going to El Reno, and I think they'll look good to win their first game, but obviously they'll have to play El Reno more than likely as well on the Friday evening. That's going to be tough. For Del City, Lawton MacArthur, who had a good win here and has been playing good basketball the last few weeks, that's the high seed that's coming to Del City. So Del City should be hosting, again, we want to wait for the official matchups to come out, but they should be hosting Guyman as the first game. And they played Guyman before in recent years as the opening round matchup. It was either 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. And then Lawton MacArthur, should be playing Class and SAS. I don't know if we'll have that game on the Oklahoma Sports Network, but if they are an OSN school, Lawton MacArthur, so there's a good chance we will. So that's how that regional looks. And for Midwest City, they're going to finish fourth. They have to play, I believe, Southeast, or it's either Southeast or Elgin. I think it's going to be Southeast. Again, on paper, you like Midwest City. Of course, that could be a dangerous first game, but they'll have obviously being on the road and playing El Reno, and they don't have a lot of size to throw at Trey Davis, who definitely is a load. So it will be a tough matchup for them, but I think it's a winnable game.
Awesome. So, again, 2 wins tonight for Carl Albert here tonight against El Reno. The Carl Albert Lady Titans win the district championship with their 54-38 victory over El Reno. And the Carl Albert boys were already locked in as the district runner-up, but they get the win over the district champion El Reno, 61-54. And I want to thank our sponsors again, Dynamic Health Clinic, Toonie Buys Houses, Bobby Lewis Insurance, Super Subs, Triple Elite Screen Printing, Scrambled, Buffalo Wild Wings, Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance, and Louis in Midwest City for helping make tonight's broadcast possible. And we do it, folks, because we love high school sports. We love these young men and young women who are out here playing, and we love to bring you great sports here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Well, with that in mind, I want to mention one more thing. The next broadcast that you'll see on the Carl Albert channel will be the football banquet on Monday, now a week from today. And you got some Carl Albert Titan football players who are up for awards, including one of my favorites. Caden Davis is up for Defensive Player of the Year. Also, Devin Woodring, the quarterback, is up for newcomer. Newcomer they define as not necessarily new to the team, but new to playing, new to being a starter. And so Devin Woodring is a good candidate for newcomer of the year in that regard. And so that'll be really good. Hopefully, if you're a Titan fan, you'll tune in and see some of your players get some hardware.
Absolutely. So just something else for you to watch and keep track of what's going on at Carl Albert High School and Carl Albert Athletics. We want to thank you for watching our game tonight, and hope that whatever your endeavors might be this week, please pay attention to the weather forecast. Not only we're supposed to have some dangerous roads, it's supposed to be dangerously cold for the next few days. So pay attention, be careful out there, and whatever you try to do, may you get a shooter's roll. Thanks for watching here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.